Myers doing what Myers does and making that back 50 zone. But ready to go here. On 3-bay footy zone going. Here's Roger LeGrand.
Thank you, Sam. Play underway, and Tanner wins the hit out, but Tom Brown in his first game for East Point Sharks, he kicks it forward, and guess who? You can tell by Sam Young's reaction, it's that man, Billy Myers, straight away into the intercept game. Takes that mark, kicks it into the middle of the ground, and finds a teammate in. It's Bewley. He goes forward now towards half forward, and strong mark taken by Will Johnson. He kind of came from a third tall kind of position there, and he's marked it about 45 metres from goal, Sam Young.
Yeah, directly in front, distance right on his range, but early, fresh legs, it shouldn't have an issue, but good start straight in the middle, Brad.
And it's exactly what Darley want to do, don't we? We thought that East Point might just bomb it out of a stoppage. They did that. They get the mark, and then Johnson's just so fast on the lead. Hit up and mark this ball.
They kicked the winner last week to kick the first one in the opening minutes here in round 2 action in the Ballarat Footy League at the Eastern Oval. Johnson right in the paint, strikes it well, holds its line, no, clips inside of the post. Extra code advantage maybe cost him, as first score on the Metro scoreboard has gone the way of Darley. It's just the one behind as East Point move it quickly. He's Glenrock McGuire with a short ball and a patient build-up. This is what East Point needs to do, I think, a little bit more. It's just control the footy in hand, take the uncontested marks. If they chip down the line, marks taken by Howard on half back, and he'll look to load up down the line. Piercing ball. Retirement owners could take the mark. Crum was still good by the Kangas. They thump it inside 50. Slater a 1-1, caught from behind, forced to spoil, brings it to the ground. Coming through there was Jeffrey. Ricochets back into the corner. Off to Kelly. Opening shot on goal for him is near side.
Oh, that was good ball movement, wasn't it? And they got a good shot on goal. Kelly should have kicked that. He's 25 metres out directly in front. Well done by East Point to get it, at least get it to ground inside 450. They were outnumbered. They brought it to ground, and then their smalls came into the game.
Geordie Slater starting at full forward today. So he's committed a bit of the back and forward, trying him out as the kick out from Myers comes to White. Handles over to Hind. Hind outside defensive 50 now, up the wing. Jeffrey found himself in front, but lost it. Ball came to Graham McDonald, goes in hard for East Point. The umpire calls in, it'll be a ball up. About 60 metres from the East Point goal. East Point looking to get on the scoreboard earlier. Valuable chance missed by Kelly. No clear winner out of that ruck contest. Rode by Kenny. Goes forward now in the direction of Joyce, but strong mark taken overhead from Darley by Lahure. And he'll take the kick around 20 metres from the East Point goal.
So Lahure will go with a short measured ball. It wasn't 15 metres, so Cadman will have to play on immediately. Clears defensive 50 with a high ball towards centre wing on the broadcast side. Big spell by Brown of East Point brings to the ground, but Jack Bewley was waiting for it. Dragged off, got the handle away just in time before being pinned. Ball in dispute. Duncan Cadman throws his way around, unable to gather the footy initially. Edwards, handball inside, found its target, and run down from behind, where the Devils' pressure is great here from East Point to start. As they look to measure the pass in the Rotoma owner's direction, he's got it. Nicker plays on, assesses his option. Little deft kick to centre half forward's a good one. Finds Kelly, 65 from goal. As he ignores the initial lead by Joyce. Now we call the play on. Sells a bit of full candies to see you later. Sends the high ball towards full forward. This has got Joyce's name on it. High fly, could take the mark. Crum, Slater, left foot snap. Yes, side.
A wonderful build-up by East Point. That was Luca Goy that did that run-down tackle, and he does have that good foot speed. Again, they're just getting the ball to ground. Their Crummers are running onto it, getting their shots on goal.
Myers wastes no time getting that ball out of the kick-out, straight to Azzopardi, who did the head roll, but marked the footy. Slow and conservative from Darley here at the moment. In the back half of the ground, it's Jack Bewley with the ball in hand. Goes in short again. Somewhat dangerously this time, but Azzopardi's up to the task. Plays on quickly now, goes wide out to the ring. He's got plenty of time. Tried to pick it up, did Edwards, that man we spoke about earlier. Was good enough and smart enough to pick it up. Kick was poor though, turned over. East Point getting numbers back. MRO lays a strong tackle. And the umpire looks like he's going to... No, ball comes out. He's going to be holding the ball there. And East Point have actually won their clearance in the end. Kick goes long to half forward in the way of Joyce. Was he pushed? No. Myers cleans up, as he always does for Darley, and kicks across the back half of the ground. Founds
Garner, a true half back. He's overcooked the kick in the Azzopardi direction. Coming through was Jack Bewley. He did well. Got the handball away initially. On the ground ball by Darley by Hatcher. He's got the tackle. Hind bumped off the ball in dispute. East Point good at the contest early. Goya Knocked it forward. Dodd, clever, gets around that trusty left side. Bit of foot candy, superb. Ball towards South forward. Slater held with that umpire wave play on. Will favour Darley. It's an half back as they come away with it. Sweeping ball by White. Will find its way to Brett Bewley. Looks left, looks right, assesses his option. Always had Cadman as the outlet on true centre wing and used them. The Devils will build it from centre wing now. Measured pass inboard. Finds Edwards, 70 from goal. Loads up for home with a long left foot kick towards full forward. The mark is taken deep inside forward 50.
Nick Hind, I think it is.
Plays on does Hind and snaps truly. First goal today goes the way of the Devils, and on the Metro scoreboard 1-1-7. They lead East Point 2 behinds.
Just textbook Darley there. Their defence has been so rock solid. Lahure, Billy Myers, etc., able to intercept or at least get the ball to ground in this area. And then when they move the ball, they're not looking up and bombing long. They are always hitting a target 30, 40 metres, lowering their eyes and hitting them. And that time, what's generally happened is they've been caught at half forward, mucking around with it, trying to lower their eyes. This time they decided, we're going to go long, get to the goal square and Hind find space. Whereas East Point, on the other hand, one quick handball, then look up and kick long to a contest each time. So it's a really different style of play. Darley just finding the better of the two at the moment.
So the margin is 5 points in favour of Darley on the Metro scoreboard here at the Eastern Oval this afternoon. Tanner up against Brown in the ruck. And Brown won the hit out in East Point's favour, but as he often does, Bewley Sharks came back in the direction of Freeman. Fumbled, perhaps should have picked up. Matricardi went in hard, was tackled. Ball went to ground, the umpire says, I will ball the ball up. Dodd comes up with the footy for East Point. Ball up will take place just in front of the coach's box, near that big tree at the Eastern Oval, if you can picture that listening at home. Brown won the hit out again, and he's got some ruck dominance early, which is good for East Point. George went in for Darley, wasn't able to pick it up. Ball came back to Luther Baker, gave a handball off to Azapati, went forward, over, kicked it. Mark taken by East Point.
So Q with it, defensive side centre wing, can just hold things up. Had an option in the corridor, ignored it, and it's probably going to go safely down the line. MRO, been busy early. Mika, retirement owners, takes the mark on centre wing on the outside of the ground from our broadcast position. Plays on, assess these options. High ball towards half forward. Joyce will arrive late. Well, the one hand can take the mark. The follow-up was good. Bounced up nicely. Caught in the tackle blow by Lahure. And a ball up to the most exciting young players in the competition at either end there. Jared Joyce and Zane Lahure going head-to-head. Will be a fun matchup. Thanks to One Life Insurance. Brad McGowan to keep an eye on.
Yeah, and I've also just been really impressed by East Point's work at the fall of the ball at half-forward line. They're crummers. They know they're not going to necessarily outmark it, so they get into the crumb well.
Merritt won the ground ball, handballed it over to McDonald, kicks along on that left foot, long towards full forward. Myers gets back and, well, we're going to run out of pens here if we keep counting his marks. He's taken the 3 or 4 already. He plays on quickly, gets it out in the direction of Joel Cadman, comes short, finds a teammate for Hatcher. Hatcher over to Azapati. So Azapati's in the back line of the centre square now, goes inboard dangerously. Fortunately, Matricardi was up to the task, and Darley are able to clear.
So Darley goes towards the outer side now, able to make it work. Freeman, spearing pass down the line, missed its initial target. Good enough to keep it alive and moving forward was Younger. Chain of hand pass works towards half forward. And in the end, good pressure, and that's what's been, I think, a big improvement from East Point this week, Brad McGowan, is they've been able to hold it up at half-back.
Yeah, that's right. The half-back line has been really good. They've been able to man up, and their midfield are getting there and putting good pressure on, so Darley's struggling to get through that area.
Yeah, pressing up to the ball carrier, making it difficult for them to chain it to the likes of Bewley and Hind through hand, as well as Brown one down the ruck, but straight down to the turf. We'll get another ball from the restart.
He's been good in the ruck, Brown.
He has absolutely had dominance early. He's jumping very high in his welcome back game for East Point. He played here a few years ago, then went back out to his home club, as you call it, in Hepburn, and now finds his way back to East Point. The umpire comes in, meanwhile, and will throw the ball up. So question for you, Brad McGowan, around this early dominance. And we spoke about it pre-game with Billy Myers. There's no defensive forward that we can see. Surely Joe's got to make a move, Joe Carmody that is, very soon.
Yeah, well, Billy Myers has gone to Fraser Kelly, and Fraser Kelly for East Point, but he's about 25 metres from goal each time, so Billy Myers is dropping off him each time. It's too easy. Fraser's got to go back and actually play on Billy and let Billy set the starting position, because Billy will know that the kick's going to go 50 metres. So it's going over his head each time at the moment. He's got to go back onto Billy.
East Point won a free kick from that stoppage and transited towards the broadcast side of the ground, the high ball in the direction there of Cairns. Throw, those going to go against Densley of Darley, and it'll go the way of Cairns. It was the tackle. A quick ball, Slater, who started right up forward this week. Will now be called to play on. Bumping inside 50, in the direction of Brown, who's worked very hard to provide an option, but a good spoil by Tanner. We'll see it out in the pocket.
Just a different matchup, those two, Tom Brown and Javen Tanner. They're generally, like ruckmen are generally larger, bigger body players. These guys are two really athletic, tall guys that are jumping at the ball each time. There's none of the usual wrestling, which has been fantastic to watch.
So the ball to be thrown in front of the deck here at the Eastern Oval. Joyce doing the ruck work for East Point. Cairns nearly had it, got it in the end. Was he taken high? The umpire says no. Densley gets the hurried kick away for Darley. And they're good enough to clear once again, this time through Matricati. Goes in the direction of Azapati out on the wing. A foot races on him and Williams. Azapati was taken high. Umpire agreed it'll be a free kick. And a little bit of a scuffle afterwards, Sam Young.
Yeah, definitely a bit of push and shove, and the feelings being up. And East Point up to the contest, but free kick by the way of the Devils, and Azapati measured 15-metre pass will find its target. Looks for the 1-2, which was superb with Younger, and goes inside 50 in the Johnston direction at his feet, but the Mercurial one gets it around the body, heads to home with the top of the square kick. Ball hits the turf. Where are the Crummers? It is Darley, but it's touched off the boot. Coming through was Younger. His kick was partially smothered, went through for a minor, and the Devils moved to 1-2-8 on the Metro scoreboard. East Point Trail just the two behinds after 11 and a half minutes of football in the opening term.
They do look dangerous, Darley, when they can get in behind that East Point half-back line. East Point's half-back line has been fantastic, but when Darley can get through that and they have their players running back towards goal, they do look likely to score.
The D2E Gyms from Delacombe to Wendouree, and never too far from a D2E. Play East Point slow and steady out of defence. This time it's Howard, kicks long up centre wing. Lahure gains front position and knocks the ball over the line. So slow going out of defence, Brad McGowan early for East Point, just slow and steady, not trying to hurry the ball out.
Yeah, and they certainly don't look to take many risks. They're going wide, but that's probably pretty good for a young side. Just can limit the scores against early on.
Back on the land centre wing on the outside. I'll give points to Tanner this time with the knockdown. Baker unable to gather. Retirement Onus has no problems getting the clearance as he sends it inside forward 50. Hacked off the deck there by Jeffrey, but coming away with it is Myers. Sweeping hand pass was good by the Darley as a party takes a bounce on centre wing on the broadcast side.
Speed.
And now a second bounce, but he ran too far. Oh, get back on the table with that one. He's saying it was 14.9. Buckeyes had 15.1 steps.
So he took one bounce and then he was pinged after the second bounce.
I reckon he wouldn't have even run 10.
So Marsh will get the hand pass off the cue. He'll go to half forward with the right foot kick. Jeffrey in front. Had it fisted away legally by Garner. Brett at ground level. Almost made a meal of it, but couldn't have to get it back towards Garner. His ball inboard might be a turnover. Opportunity here, but he's got me run down from behind. Up close, he got the handball just in time. And Kettler Jones is seen out of bounds. We'll get a ball in. Hiscock, who was good last week in the loss against Sevastopol, couldn't believe his luck running in try on goal, and was a bit too slow in game 13 and was lucky to get away with it.
He was unable to. He had teammates beside him. He just could have given the quick hands. Didn't feel the pressure and unfortunately run down.
Joyce tried to grab it out of the ruck. MRO barges his way through, but beautifully smothered by Lahure, and it'll be another stoppage, I think, ball up 20 metres out from goal.
Oh, what a machine MRO was there. Just a big beast charging through the stoppage, knocking Darley players left and right. He's a dangerous man on the move, MRO.
He looks like a man playing with an absolute mission today at clearance. He'll be the target again by the Joyce tap. He gets it away. Having to slap to his own advantage was Hiscock as he hacks off the deck, and it just pitched in the side of the field of play. Maybe some ironic appeals for insufficient attempt that will get a boundary throwing deep in the the right foot pocket for East Point.
MRO, hands on his knees. That's taken a bit out of him those last two goes.
And just quickly for One Life Insurance, I'm noticing that East Point seem to have a spare behind the footy, Macca, one to keep an eye out.
Yeah, that's right, particularly inside 50 here because their forward takes the ruck.
Shallow throw and Joyce trying to take it out of the air and use that advantage. Slipped on his grass. Slater forced him now to do the role of tackling, and we'll get a ball up 25 out from goal.
Yeah, so Joyce the forward takes the ruck, which means then that Brown could drop back and spare behind the ball.
Doing the old traditional ruck. Yeah, and one kick behind the play. We'll go again inside 50. Tanner and Joyce, two good athletes. Baker, four-time premiership player, will get the clearance. Here's Edwards. who just keeps it alive and off hands and out of bounds. So no lasso free kick on that one.
You love the lasso, don't you, Sam?
Well, just saying, I'm a bit of a fan of the rules. It's helping the game.
You like the dance of the song.
Yeah, he does, exactly,
Brad.
Brad. He does it every time, in concert with the boundary umpire.
Sammy Treasure loves it just as much as me.
Ball back into play. Fraser did the ruck for East Point, but Bewley good enough to win the Sharky in the clearance, and the ball goes long up to half forward. Mark taken by Lockie George. He plays on quickly, but his kick is a poor one, and Howard able to get back for East Point and take a strong mark overhead. He comes out towards the Bowls Club side of the ground. It misses its target. You might get your chance here with that lasso. No, Williams is up to the task. He goes long towards half forward, but you may as well take the menu out to him a quarter time, Sam Treasure, because if Billy Myers is the early favourite for the Sporting Globe Player of the Day.
Fantastic intercept mark by Myers again.
High ball down the line by Myers, and Bewley's going to be paid the mark free kick either way.
It was on Joyce that time. That wasn't Joyce's fault. It was just a poor kick. Went straight to Myers.
So Brett Bewley will load up and send one inside 50 with that booming left foot kick. This time's ill-directed. Probably should be marked by Joyce of the Braden variety, but just let it slip through his grasp. We'll get a stoppage inside forward 50 as we're approaching time on.
He got the sun in his eyes there, Sammy. He tried to put the shield up, but no good.
Well, beautiful ground here and plenty of trees around the Eastern Oval, but the weather causing havoc. Hind, little dance step, look left, look right, retreated back. Put his team under all sorts of pressure, and that East Point tackling pressure continues. The ball trickles towards the boundary line inside 50 for the Devils. They keep it alive. Quick kick forward will come from Matt Riccardi towards the top of the square. Almost a mark taken by Johnson backing back. Ball spills out. East Point survive. Wobbly clearing kick might come back with interest. Gardner waiting on the arc of the 50. Handball off. Found Freeman. Little spear pass. Was it required 15? Yes, it was. Finds his target. Mark taken. And shot and goal coming up for... Looks like inside forward 50 there. It's Lockie George.
Good composure by Gardner in the end. He was under pressure, able to get around the tackler. Lockie George just yelling right in front of his eyesight. Most people would have bombed that to the top of the square. Georgie Marks will get a shot on goal.
So hasn't kicked a goal for Darley yet, albeit his second game. Lockie George goes back and he looks to have faded that one over the left-hand side through from behind. So on the Metro scoreboard, Darley 139, East Point 2 behinds. Low-scoring first quarter. We've played around 17 minutes on the Metro scoreboard as Jackson Merritt, as he often does, looks to bring the ball back into play, and this time he elects to play on. Goes out that Bowls Club side again, which seems to be the choice for East Point here early, and they've got the ball out very quickly, this time through Lucas, kicks the ball up the wing, missed Joe Fraser the target, ball went back in the direction of Willems, kick was smothered, McDonald did the cleaning up for East Point, when that left foot, and it's a good one, finds Marshall, true centre half forward position, looking to play on quickly, hasn't got much in front of him, in the end elects to go the way of Slater, and finds him. Geordie Slater takes the mark about 35 metres from goal.
Now, I don't know how much footy Geordie Slater's played in front of footy there, but I watched his leading patterns there, Brad McGowan, and you would have loved to see maybe a forwards coach there from a defender.
Yeah, that's right. He did the tick lead, went up, and then came back towards the footy. And the kick by Marshall as well. I'd heard he's a new recruit this season. From Buninyong. Nice outside mid, left footing kick. Perfect pass. And, hey, if he kicks this goal, they're right back in this game.
Only 7 goals in 54 games, majority of them, of course, behind the footy. Kick 1 point already as Geordie Slater. Right foot kick is on its way. And geez, I reckon he might be a forward. Oh, Geordie Slater gets East Point's first one of the day. They're 1-2-8 on the Metro scoreboard. Darley lead 1-3-9.
Even though we've said that the game has looked pretty much like Darley would like, and that Billy Myers, etc., have been setting up across half back, East Point have been doing the same across their half-back line. They've been limiting Darley's scores. Darley have had more opportunities to score, but East Point would be very happy at this stage. They're finding ways to get the ball in their forward half, and yeah, now only trailed by 1 point just before quarter time.
Great game of footy to start here at the Eastern Oval. In round 2 action of the Ballarat Footy League, thanks to No. 1 ticket holder D2E gyms from Delacombe to Wendouree. You're never too far from a D2E. We're off and running again. Brown will get the tap. Opportunity for MRO to go to work. Handball came from Darley in the direction of Hind. Turns on the afterburners. Right foot kick will go inside 50. Looking for Johnson. couldn't quite hang on, did the work early, just couldn't complete the mark. At ground level, Hatcher tried to break free from a tackle. Umpire said, no high contact, no free kick. We'll get a ball up 20 from goal.
Sam Treasure, we'll just get you to keep an eye on MRO there for East Point. He had a head knock with Joel Cabinet at that clearance. Both of them have stayed on their feet, but they're not looking great, either of them. So
ball thrown back up into play. Ball hits towards Evangelina. It'll be out of bounds. And quickly for Go Vita before, sorry, Sammy. The early scores from other grounds. North Ballarat leading Bacchus Marsh by 5 points. 10-point lead to Sunbury. Ballarat and Sabas. It's a 5-point lead to Sabas. That game being played at City Oval. Thanks to Go Vita, your local health store this afternoon, as ball comes back into play. East Point with numbers back. Strong tackle late on Willems. Wasn't able to get it. Sharp by Luther Baker. Went onto that left boot, but he seems to have missed everything and it's gone out of bounds.
Yes, just wedged in front of the line. So, of course, in between the arcs. Only the last 2 free kick we paid. Inside 50 is fine. So we'll get a stoppage. Deep inside 50 for the Devils to go to work. Ball in will be at 20 metres or so from goal. Looks like Glenmark McGuan doing some ruck work and winning it down for East Point. Clearing kick might come back with an interest though. Hind through traffic, got boots the ball when many probably couldn't. Ball live, opportunity here, around the body, left foot snap coming from Edwards. Had to turn it, the Fleetwood step to get back around to that left side, but he's missed all on sundry and sent it out on the full. So missed opportunity for Darley, been a little bit wasteful to start here.
Ball comes back into play. Big fly, and it's going to be an early jump. It's going to go against Mitchell Gardner. It's going to go the way of East Point. It looks like Kelly's going to take that free kick for East Point. He goes backwards now, just electing to control the footy. Merritt plays on, comes up the wing in front of the East Point coach's box. Strong mark overhead from Geordie Slater. Sam Young made the early call that he might just be a forward, and he plays on quickly, goes inside 50. Pack will fly. Darley with the numbers back. Good spoil.
Oh, they're out.
Back off the ground. Comes back to Joyce. Hiscock. Did it clip the post?
What a goal.
We don't have an arc umpire. Says no. And Hiscock has a goal for East Point. It's their second for the afternoon. And just waiting for that scoreboard to tick over so I can give you the Metro score. It was Dylan Hiscock on that right boot. A little snap in it. Rolled and it turned and it bounced sideways, Brad McGowan.
Yeah, they were able to move it quickly in the end. Like East Point could have switched the ball. Instead, they decided to go down the line. And it got through the big pack of players. And then eventually East Point were able to kick it in forward quickly. East Point actually had 3 players run onto the ball, all goal side. He could have run right to the goal line, but he tried the old Peter Dacos check side, and it rolled beautifully through the middle. If he had missed it, Coach Joe Carmody would have been ropeable because he could have raffled it and walked into the goal. But really good goal to East Point, and they're in front.
2-2-14 on the Metro scoreboard. Lead Darley 1-3-9. Back underway in the middle of Eastern Oval. Handball by Azapati inside. Found the ruckman and Tanner from a stationary start. His kick had to be good and was. Found Hind. He'll be off to the races. Right foot kick will go towards full forward. Right to the top of the square. Brought the ground by the East Point defence in Howard. Alive in there. Coming away is Dodd. Measured left foot pass will find his target. Good composure coming out of the back line once again shown by East Point. Ball down the line should find Hiscock. Last goal kicker in this game. 22.5 minutes gone in the opening turn. He'll come around to his right side. Right foot kick will go in the Joyce direction. Getting in front there was Hure being a nuisance. Coming through nicely there was Gardner to get it off to Zane Lahore, who just dumps a long one down the line into space more than anything. Bounces the ball in front of George. He slapped it to his own advantage. We'll have 2 to beat. Little blind turn with superb handball off to Densley. Found him in some space. Right foot kick was dribbling towards Senar Ford. Hind kept in front of himself. Goes inside to the corridor. Found Hatcher, off to Edwards, sees the goals, likes the goals, didn't get a great strike of the Sharon, and it wobbles through for a minor score.
They're doing a good job on Nick Hind. He's so fast when he gets the ball. He's trying to create with his feet and break it open with that speed. But East Point have been up to the challenge, been able to limit his influence at the moment.
Sam Q very slow to get up after that last contest. We'll get an update from Sam Treasure shortly. Got up holding his head. Hopefully he's okay. Kenny won the kick for East Point. Forward. But there is no one past the half-forward line for East Point. So it's kind of got to open space. And Darley were quick enough to get back. And it'll be a ball up in the end. That man getting to his feet once again is the man who has dominated this first quarter, Lahore. He's been very impressive down back and had plenty of the footy, as umpire Brown comes in, throws the ball up. Tanner couldn't pick the ball up cleanly. Handball came from Cairns. Long kick from Brown into the forward line. Myers gets back, punched it straight into the arms of Braden Joyce, who dribbled along the ground.
What a goal again.
Goal to East Point, and they have their third this afternoon. What a ripper, Brad McGowan.
Well, two Darley players spoiled each other then, wasn't it? Billy Myers came over in front of his teammate and spoiled the ball. His teammate would have actually marked it, but unfortunately the spoil went straight to Joyce, as you said, and pretty much a carbon copy of what happened last time. It fell to the East Point players, had numbers offensive side. They've just looked better in the last 5 minutes because they've been lowering their eyes a little bit at half forward, East Point, and getting marks up around the 50 instead of bombing it long and high. If they bomb it long and high, that's where Myers has an influence. If it's flatter and shorter, then Myers isn't having as much of an influence.
Great start here for the Kangas on their home turf. Darley kicked the first, East Point have kicked the last three. Hacks up the deck forward, MRO resting forward, takes the mark at Truce and forward. They're not done left. Right foot kick, look at Joyce! Couldn't take the mark at full stretch. Well played by Lahore to get that spoil in, brings it to the ground. Garner off the Myers.
Joyce hurt behind play.
As he exits from half back cleverly. And now Darley need the breather as they're going out towards the other side and slow things up. Right foot kick inboards, a dangerous one. Q read the Hughes nicely, but couldn't take the mark. Handball off to Goy. Let's slip to his grasp. Had enough time to get it out wide towards a teammate. Big ball will be one. Great tackle applied by Azapati initially, but they got free. They wriggled free towards full Slater!
He's dominating Slater at full forward. He's looking like a man possessed as a good quality key forward, this kid.
And Matty Brett for years has been regarded as the best key back in the competition. He is no mug. And Geordie Slater says, I've got a few things to show you, Matthew. I don't mind premiership behind the footy. I know how to put the pressure on.
What a powerful 5 minutes of footy for East Point. Darley looking at C behind the ball.
For 4 in a row, a little handy buffer as we approach quarter time. Some said rebuild. I'm starting to believe a work in progress. Geordie Slater directly in front from 30 metres out. Right foot kick is on its way. He has 2. The Kangas have 4.
Get around. Slater.
We might just cross down to Sam Treasure. Jared Joyce, as we saw, clutched his arm after a contest in the forward line. Can you see anything from where you're standing, Sam, in regards to Jared Joyce?
Yeah, he was clutching at his left wrist, Roger, so that's obviously going to be a massive factor if he has an issue there, because he's proving to be absolutely prolific up forward, and Geordie Slater might have to kick a few more if he is out.
I heard his forehand as well, boys.
That's going to be no worries for Geordie Slater the way he's going.
That's right. So on the Metro scoreboard, sorry, Brad,
yeah,
it's 4-2, East Point, Darley 1-14.
Well, Darley just need to get things under control here. They need to get hold of the footy and try and kick and mark a little bit, because East Point are on a roll.
The D2E Gyms from Delacombe to Enderee, you're never too far from a D2E. Play back underway, and East Point with their tails up. But Luther Baker says, I'm going to do something about that for Darley. He wins the clearance. He turns it over, though. Quick enough to get back was Merritt. Came in the direction of Glenn Wright McWan, went onto his right boot. But good enough to get back for Darley now is Andrew Azapati. He plays on quickly, comes inboard. Darley with the numbers through the middle now. It's in the hands of the ruckman, and Tanner goes long towards goal. Looked okay off the boot, but in the end it just faded to the right and through from behind. Darley 1-5-11, East Point 4-2-26 on the Metro scoreboard.
It's not the first shot on goal. It's been a couple from Edwards and now Tanner, where they just haven't struck it cleanly, Brad McGowan.
Yeah.
Good looks, just haven't.
And they are long shots, though, too, Youngie. They've all been from 40 out. Long shots often lead to long points, and that's what's been happening.
Merritt will go long towards the other side, clicking it very close to the boundary line, and off hands it will go out of bounds. Willen's unable to keep it in. We'll get a ball in, or did it come?
That was off the boot.
There comes the boot. There you go. So Lassu, kick inboard there coming from Darley. Up and under one from Hatch is going to be tough to mark. Didn't go the required journey. Waiting down, Hine keeps it alive, underground kick. No, he doesn't keep it alive. We'll get a boundary throw in.
So for Go Vita, your local health store, another score I didn't give a bit earlier was Melton versus Lake Wendouree, and looking for a rebound from Lake Wendouree today after the poor start last week. Well, it's not a good start. Melton 6-2-38, Lake Wendouree 1-1-7. So some work to do there. Snap out of that, ball up has landed in the goal square for Darley. It's going to go the way of East Point. It's Howard, goes in short. Finds, I think it's Cairns back there for East Point. Conscious of the time now, it's ticked over 28 minutes in this first quarter, and The timekeeper must have heard me, Sam Young, because that is the end of the first quarter that sees East Point 4-2-26 leading Darley 1-5-11 on the Metro scoreboards. Goal kickers, please, Sam Young.
Yeah, well, revelation up forward, Geordie Slater. He has 2. Jared Joyce and Dylan Hiscock also on the score sheet for the Kangas, whilst Nick Hine kicked the opener in this one. Since then, it's been all East Point. We're going to take a break at the Eastern Oval thanks to our number one ticket at D2E Gym. You're listening to 3BA Footy's Home Ground.
Listening at home or in the car, so they've got a better idea of the Darley forward matchups, and Brad McGowan will go through those very shortly as the play gets underway in the middle. Brown has been good in the ruck. He won out, but as seems to have happened a few times, Darley seemed to get in and win the clearance, but this time Merritt's able to lay a strong tackle and East Point to win a free kick for holding the ball. Merritt plays on quickly, kicks long towards half forward, slightly off target. McGuan was able to get in there. Was that a holding free kick to East Point? Umpire said no. Ball goes to ground. Looks like it's going to be a ball up. Right on the boundary line in front of the light tower where the cricket nets are at the Eastern Oval.
Merritt actually starting that second term in the middle, which is not something he does as much. Of course, was a midfielder at the AFL level, so knows what he's doing around that part of the ground. Gardner's got to be clean. Got it to Hind. Handball off inside was good. Exit through Baker for the Devils. Off there to Cadman. High ball down towards centre wing. Be a tough one to mark. Very close to the boundary line. Umpires made last disposals. You know what that means? Lasso. Free kick. It'll go the way of, I believe, the Kangas, but maybe. Although, look at, yep, it is going to go the way of East Point.
Joey Fraser.
So, centre wing. East Point will play through Fraser. High ball towards the half-forward flank. Brought to ground by the Devils' defence initially. Waiting for it nicely was as a party. He ran into a bit of trouble and it didn't cleanly dispose of it. Gone. Holding the ball. Free kick again will go the way of East Point. Hamilton side was a bit too hot for Rotoma owners. Made a bit of a meal that one with the Joyce winning the free kick to go quickly to Rotoma owners, but he left it behind and we'll get a stoppage at half-forward.
So, Brad McGowan, that forward set up for Darley. Talk us through it.
Yeah, so Will Johnson is at full forward, and he's got the fullback in Sam Lucas is on him. And then Darley's forward line really is pushing right up. So Johnson's the only one inside forward 50 as the ball is on the half-back flank for Darley.
It's going to be a repeat stoppage. A little bit closer to the East Point goal, around the 50-metre mark. Ball thrown in the air. Tanner probably won that out for Darley, but didn't go to advantage. Ball went to ground. Strong tackle laid by Hine. Umpire said no prior opportunity. It will be a ball up. So around 50 metres from goal at the Peel Street end of the ground here at Eastern Oval. If you've just joined us, East Point 4-2-26, leading Darley 1-5-11. On the Metro scoreboard, the umpires found a free kick out of that ruck contest, and it looks like it's going to be Rotoma Onus. Can I take a decent kick from there, Brad?
Yeah, he loves to be at the bottom of the pack, MRO, and has won that free kick. But he is, what would you say, the man on the mark would be just inside the paint. It's hard to see because they're on that far side. Sammy T, you might be able to see better. Is this a 55-metre shot or 45 or something like that?
Oh, I reckon he'll kick from about the paint of 50, Macca.
So it's right on MRO's limit. He's not necessarily the longest kick of the footy. Strikes well with the boot, though. Made a beautiful sounds across the face. Won't register a score. Ball's alive in the pocket. Cans unable to keep it alive and out of bounds it goes. So we'll get now a ball in deep inside 50. No change to the Metro scoreboard from quarter time. Still 4-2-26. East Point lead Darley 1-5-11, but have dominated the territory to start the second term, Brad.
Yeah, the ball's hasn't gone inside 50 for Darley. They just need to get their hands on the footy a bit more.
So we'll get a ball in deep inside 50 for East Point, as we said, where they can try to add. They've kicked the last 4 in this match. MRO tries to use that brute strength, got the handball away, but only as far as Gardner. Clearing kick will come towards the outside, be a tough one to mark. Edwards did well to bring it to ground for the Devils initially. East Point with the numbers of the handball towards a true centre half forward position. Cans with strength, too tall for Dodd. Turnover maybe in the corridor. East Point desperate to get some numbers across. Williams, one of them, using that bigger body to come through and hold things up. And did well not to get these direct opponent high in that tackle as he was bent over the footy. And we'll get a stoppage.
So ball up. Quite near the centre circle here at the Eastern Oval. Beautiful afternoon here as Brown wins the hit out for East Point. Ball goes to ground. Rotoma onus goes in, as does Goo, who has come into the side for East Point today. Brad, you know a little bit about him?
Yeah, he was an ex-Clarendon kid, taught him there. He's very fast and athletic. Just interestingly, East Point do have a spare behind the ball, whereas Darley's, they've got an extra number up at the stoppage. So really, Darley should be winning the clearances because they've got an extra man around it. East Point have a spare player, and it's ended up being Liam Howard back here as the spare. So Darley can't just bomb it.
Beautifully sharked by Luther Baker, gave it to Bewley, went onto that left foot, kicks long to half forward, but there's no one at home, and Liam Howard marks uncontested in defensive 50.
That's the spare.
He goes in short and finds Glenwright McGuan, who in turn goes short again. Finds Dodd on centre wing. Near the old Haynes Paint building here. Goes onto that left boot long towards half forward. Big fly. Slater nearly marked that in the end, came from nowhere. Great pick up by Jesse Cairns. Goes onto that right boot, and ruckman Tom Brown has drifted forward. He plays on quickly, snaps towards goal. It's rolling, it's rolling, it's rolling! He hasn't, has he? He has! Tom Brown! Early contender for goal of the day. And East Point have their fifth. 5-2-32, Darley 1-5-11.
The East Point players are up and about. Ruckman aren't meant to be able to do stuff like that, boys. He was athletic. We heard his brother mention earlier that he's a star. We weren't quite sure that was just a brother looking after his brother there, but that was fantastic, boys.
We had Kelly streaming inside 50 as well. I thought, just wait your time. You can measure the pass, central up. No, he just said, I'm the man on the moment. I'm kicking the goal, make a final row for the Kangas. Thank you very much.
What do you reckon they've been doing at training this week, Sam Young, with those dribble kicks? That's about the third we've seen this afternoon from East Point.
A wet week, maybe in the lead in, practicing slide on. Beautiful day. No change the method, boys. Slide them through. And now it's 5-2-32 on the Metro scoreboard. That's East Point. Darley stuck on 1-5-11. Back with the action. Tanner with the tap. Behind with the handball. Off to Bewley. Left foot kick towards full forward. Johnson! Well, wouldn't you like leading to that?
Yeah, it was fantastic play, and the Darley forward structure was better there. They were able to hit up into their centre-half forwards were able to hit up and take their players out into the space. That left Johnson space to be able to lead into, and then, yeah, Bewley with such a great kick.
And it always, in the early parts of this game, feels like a must-get for Will Johnson here. Hit the post for the opening shot of the game. That kick from Bewley to find him in the lead was superb. 45 metres out, 45-degree angle. Keeps it narrow. In the end, he keeps it too narrow. A minor score at the result. 1-6-12 on the Metro scoreboard. That's Darley trailing East Point 5-2-32 with Willems to bring it back in the field of play for the Kangas.
So quickly, a couple of round-the-ground scores to go via to Ballarat, your local health store. North Ballarat, 19 points up on Bacchus Marsh. Over at City Oval, Sunbury, 22 points up on Redeem.
So we're going to transition back towards the broadcast side with East Point deep in defence is Howard, who's been the spare to start this term. Well, kick the centre wing with the overlap pass. We'll find to Marshall, now to Q. Goes for a run, gets it away just in time as Merritt will retreat back to that spare in Marshall. We get back to that trusty left, thump a long one down the line and invite the leader to the footy there, and Slater bounces his feet. Now he's got a problem. Did he dive on? Umpire's going to give the benefit of the doubt. I reckon he might be a lucky boy. He might be doing his day. We'll get a ball up on centre wing just to take inside for East Point.
I still think East Point were just able to take too many marks and get the ball out too easily there. That Darley zone is not working very well at the moment.
Beautifully hit out by Tom Brown, but not to advantage. Darley, as we've seen for most of today, seemed to be winning the clearances. Could have been a high tackle free kick to Kepler-Jones. The umpire called play on. Darley through Johnson are able to win the footy. Over to As a Party now. Inside 50 the ball goes. One-on-one contest. Lucas was up for East Point. Shark up the back. Kenny came through. Was he taken high? No. The umpire will come in and ball the ball up around 12 metres from the Darley goal. They're kicking to the City end of the ground, I suppose.
Good job by East Point there. They're just defenders able to get back and help each other. Get the outnumber there.
So Fraser-Ruck there against Johnson, and the small man in Johnson actually got the tap. Bewley coming through, was unable to come through. Another ball up to 25 directly in front.
Just interestingly, that spare Liam Howard now goes and stands on the goal line as a goalkeeper. He's actually stopped 3 goals already so far. I reckon they need to go and man him up. He's been touching it on the goal line too often.
Willems will dribble it out of 50. Matt Riccardi spun 360, but no prior opportunity.
Good decision.
And the East Point faithful in the old grandstand here at the East End probably didn't like it. The same Trojan probably heard some words he didn't know. As we'll go once again just on the 50-metre arc. Johnson got rid of his direct play in the ruck. Came back in, ball to Johnson. Hand off to Hines. Always creative. Underground hand pass to Baker. Want to get to that left side. He retreats back to his lookalike in Hines. He turns around on his left boot. Snap around the body. He's going to miss all and sundry. And the Bronx cheers. They don't forget, of course, a few games here for East Point back in the day, Nick Hine, before he went on to AFL status. Set that one out in the foot.
Just great pressure again by East Point, not allowing Nick Hine to get free.
Lucas takes the resultant free kick, kicks long, but a beautiful mark taken overhead by White for Darley. In front of Jack Jeffrey, and Jack Jeffrey pretty quiet early. It's been well held as handball goes over to Lockie George. Beautiful short kick, but missed the target, and Kenny able to do the cleaning up for East Point. Kicks long up to the wing, and Tom Brown, who's been very impressive this afternoon, Brad McGowan, takes a mark. So Tom Brown kicks long up the wing in the direction of MRO, and he got about mark 2 of them in the end, such is his talent. Mika Onus has the ball on half forward, happy to wait for his teammates to get back, and the end goes in short. Finds Marshall, who gives him the 1-2 back to Rodimer Onus. Kicks inside 50 now, but unfortunately misses the target. And Gardner, who's done some good things back there this afternoon for Darley, takes the mark. He goes in short, finds Azzopardi. Azzopardi across the face of goal and finds Bewley. Bewley plays on quickly with a handball. Darley with the numbers streaming down the wing now. Short hit up, misses the target in Johnson and goes out of bounds on the full, Sam Young.
Yeah, but he had nothing he could do because he looked up and East Point have 2 spare players behind the ball. Darley have got to change the way they're structuring this game. The ground is not set up the way that they would want it, I don't believe, because every time their midfield looks up, they're looking at 1 or 2 spare East Point players. That's why they're having to lower their eyes and muck around with it. That's why they kicked that one out of bounds there.
So East Point will come out of the fence. Lucas with the long ball down the line. It's a wonderful mark in front, again by the Kangas forward the footy. So slow things up, and Joyce at full stretch sends it now inside 50. Big pack of players converge. Muratomo is resting forward, got the hands free. And an off hands will dribble out of bounds. So across the man, Sam Treasure for an update on the benches and the feeling here at the Eastern Oval, because there's upset brewing, we feel in the box. How do you see it?
Yeah, well, I firstly mentioned it's good to see Jared Joyce's forearm is okay there. And yeah, Sammy, this is quite a high octane start from East Point, isn't it? We're going to see how it unfolds in the next few quarters as they play out. But yeah, the grandstand here is pretty subdued.
20 points the margin, inside 50 for the Kangas. Another one here will get them real going in the grandstand, I'll tell you that. Baker, clearing kick, will go towards centre wing. Actually, it was Bewley's. It spills at the back. Hughes' kick was partially smothered there by Younger. And a stoppage on true centre wing on the outside is a result. We've played now 11, 12 minutes in this second term.
So around the grounds for Go Vita Ballarat, your local health store. Melton 50-point leaders over Lake Wendouree in the second quarter. Sebas 14-point leaders over Ballarat.
Still in that neutral territory on the outside, virtually opposite of our broadcast position. And we'll go again with Tanner in the ruck, this time unopposed, winning it down. Hind got boots of ball, went as high as it did long, 15 metres or so. And able to mark it. Came away with Kepler Jones, who did well. Spearing pass, it's too tall for his intended target. Ooh. Strong mark, and the late clip will make it 50 metres.
Fair enough too. Good umpiring. He might get another one if he's not careful.
He's been bumped as he's giving 50. Now, he just needs to be patient here and lower the eyes because East Point do have a spare defender back.
So it's Densley be able to bring Darley into attack in the number 55. We'll go long with the right foot kick towards that top of the square. Johnson the target. Fraser with the ball did it well and sees it out the back. A nice fist and a boundary throw in the result.
I'm now starting to understand that Liam Howard and Fraser, they're really controlling this game with their positioning. They're either marking it or spoiling it and just make it very, very hard for this Darley side.
So it'll be Brown up against Johnson. Johnson got the front position and won the hit out, but it went straight to Sam McDonald for East Point. Hurried left foot kick out of the 50. Umpires found a free kick, and it's going to go the way of Lockie George for Darley, going against Jackson Merritt. And Lockie George will take a shot at goal, most likely, from about 45 metres out from goal.
Imagine what those two are talking about. It wouldn't be quiet, I can tell you that. So Lockie George is going to have a long shot on goal. He had an early one, just pushed it across. The kick's certainly within his range.
He's gone back pretty confidently, hasn't he?
Darley need this.
No looking for any leads or anything like that. He's going to try and kick a much-needed goal for the Darley Devils. They've only kicked the one this afternoon. Distance is not going to be the issue, nor is accuracy. First goal for the Darley Football Club. Lockie George. And they have their second for the afternoon, 2-6-18. East Point 5-2-32 on the Metro scoreboard.
So all 17 other players get to Lockie George there. Obviously first goal for the new club, but also just trying to create a bit of emotion, a bit of excitement, because Darley have struggled for that, have struggled to sort of find anything to get excited about in this first half. Only their second goal, boys.
One of 5 Darley Devils out there today that didn't play, of course, in their premiership last year. They also have 11 two-time premiership players rolling around there today due to the Devils from 2023 into 2025. They got one back through George midway through the second term. Edwards having a go on the ruck, was beaten on this occasion by Fraser, who gets the handball inside there from go and then goes towards full forward. Spills at the back. Myers did well to not infringe. Couldn't take the mark, but gave off to a teammate. And the white exit kick is off the side of the boot, but it will fortuitously work out to George. Spearing pass enough back will find Mickey Edwards. He can continue onto his left side with a piercing pass. Should find as a party, but in the end, dropped his bundle. Opens the door here for McDonald. Off to Braden Joyce. Trying to set the would-be tackle. In the end, send it backwards to Duncan Cadman. He gives off to as a party. As they look for 2 in a row, he hits the full forward. Horrible kick, getting back in the hole. Mark's taken by guess who? Liam Howard has been super.
Yeah, it was well done by Howard to get back. Nick Hine was running into the space, but they didn't see Howard dropping back. They should have, because he's always getting back there.
He kicks out wide towards Sam Q. The umpire's going to pay 50. I think it's going to go against Duncan Cadman. I think he might have encroached on the protected area to the side. So Sam Q says thank you very much. The mark advances well up the ground, and he's able to kick almost towards the 50-metre line now. Finds a teammate in Merritt who's drifted forward now, interestingly enough. I know he's been taking some midfield minutes, but we haven't seen much of him up forward. He looks for a lead. Joyce found himself behind, and the ball is spoiled by the Darley defender in white and goes out of bounds.
Just good for East Point to give their back line a bit of a break. They haven't had the ball inside 50 much for the last 5 minutes or so. So they're now set up trying to keep the ball in there. And Nick Hine is at full forward for East Point, for Darley, with a lot of space around him.
Yeah, a great structural move from Joe Carmen to get Merritt around the footy and getting his possessions in higher areas of the ground. As Joyce takes out the rock, left foot snap, that's your goal to the Valley. That is super, and the response comes from the Kangas.
The thing with young teams is if it's nice weather and they can sort of get up and about, they can just get on a real roll, and that's exactly what East Point has had here. We know they've got talent. They just haven't been able to necessarily get that talent into the game, but so far today, talent's shining through.
21 wins in a row for the Darley Devils coming into this one. East Point, though, their record at home has been super. 17 of the last 19 games here they've been successful. Yes, they lost their last couple, but home field advantage, bit of, I guess, feeling that factors out. They're true underdogs today, Brad McGowan. Nothing to lose and the perfect start.
Yeah, I do think Darley do need to have to change something structurally here. But, yeah, East Point's certainly looking good at the moment.
So, second goal for Jared Joyce this afternoon. Joins Geordie Slater with 2 for the Kangas. Ball back underway. Edwards in the ruck for Darley. Ball goes to ground. Cairns tried to pick it up for East Point, wasn't able to do so. The umpire's found, he's going to call for a ball up. A little bit strange there. The play was continuous and he decided to pull the ball up. Never mind, he'll come back in. It'll be Fraser up against Edwards. Edwards, if anything, won it out. Cairns tried to kick it off the ground, wasn't able to do so. As a party was tackled without it, umpire said no, play on. Willems for East Point, picked the ball up, kicked long towards half forward. Looked like there was a hold there. Umpire said he has paid it. It's going to go the way of Joyce. Will it be 50? No, he's accepted that the player, White it was from Darley, didn't know. So free kick, Sam Young going to go to Joyce right on true centre half forward.
And he is a thumping kick of the footy, boys. We've seen him roost. This would be massive if he can get this from outside 50, but...
Yeah. So Darley had 2 spares behind the ball. So one tried to hold the East Point player down in Joyce whilst his teammate jumped over the back. That's what the free kick was given for.
Goes laterally and said the Merritt was unopposed, and he might go back with a bit of confidence a little bit closer to the goal.
He's got McDonald in the pocket there if he wants him.
He's going to play on, arc around, and then hit a hot spot with the kick. He pulled at the final moment, but it was all Darley. It was Myers this time getting in the hole to take the marks. Piercing below defence wasn't his best. White had to sit and wait and has a problem. He's drawn to the ground, and umpire says, I'll throw it up for him for a second. He was shaping there, boys, but he's going to...
I thought he was going to pay it too, Sam.
I mean, he had no prior opportunities. He made the right decision in the end, but I thought just for a second the way he stopped and we held our breaths for half a second... Yeah, it might have been a free kick to East Point inside forward 50, but we'll go again. But 40 metres out from goal. Edwards in the ruck seems almost like permanently the second. interesting to see him and Johnson at that centre bounce, Brad McGowan.
Yeah.
Well, start.
And we did hear Dan Jordan, the coach of Darley, say that they're going to try some different things in the ruck. So obviously they've had a plan to try a few different players through there. Edwards is one.
Knocked down inside 50, coming through there was Willems, who's unable to go. That clearing kick from Gardner, who's had plenty of it, was in the Bewley direction. He just slapped it sharp and down, and a work out to Younger. Off to as a party, didn't get boots the ball, was stripped over in the tackle. Umpire says that's fine, we'll get a ball up at half-back for the Devils on the Metro score, but they trail 2-6, 18 to East Point's 6 goals to 38.
Quickly around the grounds for Go Vita, your local health store. North Ballarat has skipped away from Backsmarsh. They lead by 27 points in the second quarter as Darley win the clearance. As a party, streaming through the middle of the ground, takes one bounce, goes around two, going to get caught. No, just got the kick away. Long towards full forward, 2-on-1. Lucas dropped what he could have taken. Hind at the bottom of the pack, couldn't pick it up. Goo picked it up, was tackled strongly. Is it going to be holding the ball? Umpire says no. It'll be a ball up beside the behind post. So Thompson was outnumbered 2-1, was able to half the contest. Hind was at his feet as he came through, and Goo kind of beat him to the footy, and it'll be a ball up. Darley needing a much-needed goal here. Right beside the behind post. Umpire throws the ball in the air. Brown won it out for East Point. Rhodes, was he taken high? The umpire said yes. It'll go the way of Darley. Sam Young doesn't agree, but in the end, Hatcher will take a shot at goal from around 15 metres out.
Was he falling, Brad McGowan, for One Life Insurance?
Yeah, I actually couldn't watch that all that well because I had my eye on Will Johnson, who is the smaller key forward for Darley. He had to try and take the ruck. He just turned his back, and the ruckman for East, Brown, just jumped into his back, and he's actually hurt Will Johnson.
So Grant Hatcher, the beneficiary of the kick, comes back in. The Darley supporters like it, as does the goal umpire. And Darley have their third goal for the afternoon. They go to 3-6-24. East Point 6-2-38 on the Metro scoreboard.
So lucky goal there in the end to Darley. Will Johnson, the forward, he's sort of limping. He's had a knee right around the kidney sort of area. Doesn't look that comfortable. But look, just important goal for Darley to keep that scoreboard ticking over for them, trying to keep them in touch, boys.
Grant Hatcher, of course, premiership player last year. Only 20 games of senior footy. As we go around the grounds, thanks to Go Vita, your local health store. Melton, 11 goals, 773. Lee Lakewind 2-4-16. Does the horror show for Lakers continuing season 2026. It's a big story emerging across the competition for all the wrong reasons. As we're back on the way here, retirement owners with the tackle, stripped his direct opponent initially. Coming through off the wing was good, was Dodd. And he get caught tie? Yes, he did. Retirement owners will take the advantage. Piercing ball to half forward. Diving and slip catch attempt there was from Joyce. Couldn't quite hang on. Myers stands up the tackle. He'll have that prior opportunity, a ball up in defence.
It's just interesting, the main way Darley seem to be scoring are from stoppages inside their forward 50, and that's because they've got relatively even numbers when that happens, whereas most of the time East Point have the spare and they can't seem to get around that spare.
What about Onus? Won it out of a clearance, handballed it forward in the end, ball comes to ground. Darley able to get back with Myers, tackled straight away, umpire will come in and ball the ball up. Another round the ground score, Sam Young from Ballarat.
Yeah, tight one there, Sebastian. 6 goals, 11-47, lead the Ballarat on 7-4-46.
The Go Vita, your local health store here in Ballarat. The umpire will come back in and throw the ball up. Ball goes to ground. Kelly went in, handballed it to Goo, I think it was. Kick was smothered, came back to Cairns, went on his left boot. Probably had a little bit more time than we first thought, and he's kicked it out in the full in the end. An opportunity missed for East Point.
They are looking dangerous at forward 50 stoppages, though, East Point. They've had that dominance in the ruck, so everyone's getting on the move, and even their rucks are kicking it out of the ruck at times.
So Darley will go through the middle, they'll find Cadman into their space. This is of the Joel variety. Goes into the corridor, finds the speedster and Hind. Short ball down his way to Myers, and he'll play on. Wasn't required 15, didn't matter. Right foot kicks into the pocket to the lead of Johnson. Bewley got there first, off to Johnson, back inside, found his way to Tanner. He can just come around the body with a right foot snap. Gompot did some work and said, well, you missed all sundry, Javen. That's out in the full.
Bewley was by himself,
yeah, too. Bewley giving him the two arms out. Give it to me, young fella.
And the ruckman went around the body when he had Brett Bewley, Anderson Mellis, streaming unopposed to goal.
Good way to find yourself playing the reserves, isn't it?
Yeah, don't put the tape, Javen.
So it'll be Lucas who brings the ball back into play for East Point. Kicks long. Centre wing, pack will fly. Ball comes to ground. Dodd, who's been very good this afternoon, goes onto his left boot. Kicks long, centre wing, Cairns at the foot of that pack. Looked like almost a dangerous tackle. His head kind of got slung down, but the umpire said, no, I'm unsighted. I'll just ball the ball up. So on the Metro scoreboard, East Point 6-3-39, Darley 3-7-25. We've played only 24 minutes here in the second quarter at the Eastern Oval. A very entertaining affair for D2E Gems from Delcombe to Enderee. You're never too far from a D2E. Purely ends up with Hine from outside 50. Kicks long towards the goal square. Howard probably could have marked it, but tapped it over the line.
Keep an eye on Jesse Cairns. I think he's done for the day, boys. He's limping to the bench. He pointed to the bench after coming up from that tackle. He's got a fair limp on him. I reckon he's pinged something here. He's in a lot of world of pain.
Again, Liam Howe, though, just being one of the dominant players on the field, controlling every entry inside 50.
So deep inside forward 50. Can Darley string two together the first time today? Glenn Wright McGuire just fisted it straight towards the line. As Cairns looks like Sammy Tracy's just about to exit out of the game. Taking him a long way time to get from one side of the ground to the other.
Yeah, it has, and he missed round one because of a scratchy calf, so I just wonder maybe if he's even re-pinged that. I'll keep an eye on it. I'm not saying it is the calf, but it is something.
The way he's limping here very well could be Sammy, as ball was spilled on the tackle. In the end, another stoppage to the result around the ground thanks to Go Vita. Sunbury 8-2-50, lead Redan 3-3-21.
There's not much room inside forward 50. A lot of numbers around it, but Darley being pretty active in there.
Ball comes from that ball up. Darley desperate for a goal. Strong tackle laid. Goo puts his hand up saying it should have been a free kick. The umpire calls play on. Ball goes out to the wing. Myers a long way out of his regular defensive zone. Able to help out White win the footy. Comes in the direction of Cadman. Cleverly kicked off the ground by Dodd. Ball goes to ground. It's going to be a ball up on centre wing. So mustn't be too long to go, Sam Young. Ticking 26 minutes in the quarter.
There's only been, 3 goals kicked, I think, for the term. Maybe 4, actually. So I can't imagine it's going to be one more than 28 minutes, you would think, on the general run of play. Garno's bare tackled and dumped.
Yeah, the tackle pressure's been high for both. The game is lifting. This is an important little passage of play here. Darley getting the ball inside 50 pretty regularly now.
So Darcy Matricardi was the one that was dumped in a dangerous tackle on the attacking side of centre wing, on the outside from our broadcast position. He sends one up for the high flyers. One for Tanner! Could take the mark at the ground level. Handball was good off the cabin, off the hind. Left foot snap. There's enough bend in the body. It's right to the line. In the end, it's the wrong side of the post. Nevertheless, on the Metro scoreboard, the Devils moved to 3 goals, 8-26, trailing East Point 6-3-39.
Gee, Javen Tanner for Darley. Huge leap at that ball. Just unable to take it. But again, Nick Hine just cannot get any space.
Willems plays on out of the kick out, but he kicks it straight back to Matthew Brett for Darley. Handballs it over to Edwards. Back in the direction of a teammate in Hatcher, I think it was. Kicks long. Keeper McGuan Glenwright wasn't able to take the mark. Ball spills towards the boundary, and they're able to knock the ball over. So stoppage right in front of the Darley bench. Sam, any word on Jesse Cairns? Is he done for the day?
I'm not sure, Roger. Don't have any information as of yet.
It's interesting to see Liam Howard, the spare defender. He goes and stands behind the post. He almost tries to hide as the stoppage here, and then he'll jump out and be on the goal line.
Back on the way inside 50, and Hine with the tackle. In the AFL, didn't Digby Morrell once hide behind the post?
Look at him, he's hiding behind the goal umpire there.
Digby Howard.
He's literally hiding.
If anyone can find that footage, send it in. That's all I'm going to say. It's some of the best comedy work you've seen. Digby, you're 6'6". You can't be hiding behind the post, son. Back on the way inside 50. Retirement owners with another clearance. A dodgy looking hand pass that he disguised well enough, and Q exits. Brown in front, can take the mark, and spills at the back. Myers has had plenty of it, will go towards the corridor to Baker, who spits it back towards Brett. Has to use the non-preferred left boot, but they're out in half forward, and as a party should mark. Won't have the distance. As Bewley circling for the handball received. Decides to go to require 15. Over the top to Hatcher. And an important shot on goal coming up.
It's been alive via Hatcher. Often get into the fall of the ball pretty well.
He'll give the hands to Bewley. He was waiting for it. From 50, Brett Bewley pins the ears back and goes, bang!
Beautifully called, Sam Young.
He's just a class player, isn't he? Bewley was actually a little bit disappointed that Hatcher marked that because Bewley was standing next to him. He wanted that shot on goal, took his opponent back towards the centre circle and thought, he's now fallen asleep. I can wrap around the outside and get this on my left foot.
Did Liam Canny develop amnesia in half a second? He did it so well, stopped at the original one from Azapati to have him wrap around, and then a short ball 15 minutes later, he just forgot that Bewley was just going to do the same thing, kick the goal anyway.
The Go Vita, your local health store around the grounds in the Central Highlands. Dales for 21-point leaders over Hepburn. Dunstown 12-point leaders over Bungaree. Scores a level, Rokewood and Bunningyong. Cunningham, Linton and Skipton are also level. And Limont 30-point leaders over Springbank.
And 7 points here on the Metro scoreboard, but Darley kicked the last couple, and this man Bewley kicked that one. He'll go inside forward 50 with a long ball right to the goal line. Backing back was George. Can he keep it alive? No, it's touched. Goal line in the best position says it's touched by Howard, and the Devils are denied another lucky George goal. When Rob McGuire will go quickly.
Hang on. It's like he wants to talk to the umpire.
No, he's just calling for stand. I think I know what you mean, because there was some confusion around that shot on goal.
Yeah, I would like to replay. That looks like it's out the full.
Kicks it out on the full. So under pressure here, East Point. The siren cannot come soon enough. They've had such a good first half, they don't want to give away another one now as Edwards overkicks it.
No.
And East Point are going to be able to clean up through Kepler-Jones. He kicks towards half-board, but kicks to literally no one. Matthew Brito has overrun the footy, which is allowed Dylan Hiscock to come through. Very cleverly kicked the ball off the ground, but again, Darley with the numbers back. Lahure picks it up. He goes out onto the wing now. Kicking from Darley out of defence has been a bit sloppy this half, and that one's going to be one of Sam Young's favourites, a lasso out in the wing.
Lasso.
Well, East Point had no one inside 50 because they've got so many numbers back trying to help out. They're just trying to save the game.
One ball down the line there by East Point. Joyce got that to the apex, just couldn't hang on to the mark. Waiting down ground level there was Baker, and his spearing pass found Bewley, who goes around the body on the left boot to try to find Azapati streaming towards half forward. Breaks the Williams tackle, runs to 50, lowers the eyes, and found Tanner inside 50 directly in front 30 from goal.
That's textbook Darley ball movement there. Through the middle if they can. Use their speed on the outside and then use a hit-up lead because East Point had numbers. Liam Howard lurking back. They couldn't bomb it long. And this guy, Tanner, Javen Tanner, has been pretty active. They've taken him out of the ruck. He hasn't been able to have an influence there, but he does look dangerous forward.
Well, has Hine got a problem there? He's got up very gingerly around his groin. He seems to be okay now, Sam.
Yeah, the umpire called time off for half a second for the injured player, but we'll stick with now the kicker. To level the scores here, Javen Tanner does so. And for all their good work, East Point, the Metro scoreboard as we approach the halftime siren has them level with Darley. It's 6-3-39 East Point, Darley 5-9-39.
So Javen Tanner kicked 2 last week and does look dangerous. And it's just that we sort of knew that Darley would get going at some stage. They're just too good a side not to. They've been on a roll over this last 5 or 6 minutes and just started to hit the scoreboard. But it's been that midfield crew, particularly Bewley and Hind, that have been able to get the ball on the outside and find players in space as opposed to bombing it long to Howard like they were earlier.
So 5 individual goal kickers for Darley in this first half. Hind, Brett Bewley, Lockie George, Tanner and Hatcher. East Point. Geordie Slater has 2. Jared Joyce has 2. Dylan Hiscock and Tom Brown each have 1.
Geordie Slater's just down in the rooms as well. Gents will keep an eye on it.
So some injury concerns for East Point. They've already lost Jesse Cairns, presumably for the afternoon, as Edwards wins the ball out of the middle. Tackled straight away, and the umpire will ball the ball up. So ticked over 32 minutes here in the second quarter at the Eastern Oval for D2E Gyms from Delacombe to Wendouree. You're never too far from a D2E. Umpire Brown throws the ball up. And he's found a free kick. It's going to go the way of East Point. It's going to go the way of Tom Brown. No relation, I hope. He will go back and take the kick out of the middle.
Yeah, so Michael Edwards just tried to own the ball drop and didn't necessarily watch the ball, which meant that Brown was able to get free.
Ball inside 50, though, has been cut off by the Devils and by Desu Myers. Too tall, though, for this time for George. And did well in the strong tackle not to dump Brown into the turf, and we'll get a ball up on half forward for East Point. Can't be long left in this opening half. We're playing now 31 minutes in the second term.
33 minutes, Sam.
Right foot around the body there was Canny towards full forward. At the back will go. Callywell will be beaten to it well by Brett. Gave it up the back to a teammate Cadman, and a measured pass found his target. An opportunity now for Densley to find its target, and Bewley too tall for him. all in position to start the second half here. Cadman up against Brown. It's East Point by 2 points. Can they hang on? Cadman will get the points too, even though neither I can really touch it. Stoppage will go the way of East Point. They draw it to full forward. In front was Joyce. Couldn't mark. Spills free. Here's a chance. He's shot by Jeffries. It's always near side. He's been lucky to actually scrape it in for a score in the end. They now take a 3-point lead on the Metro scoreboard. There you go, 6-5-41. Darley 5-8-38.
He's strong through the hips, Jeffries, there, isn't he? He's a strong boy. Like, he was able to shrug off that tackle and get that shot on goal. Unlucky to miss that. They certainly look good out of the centre bounce again, though, East Point.
So it'll be Myers to bring the ball back into play for Darley. And as we've become accustomed to, plays on out of the goal square, kicks long towards the timekeeper's box here at the Eastern Oval. Ball comes to ground. The skipper, Kenny, leads the race. Handballed it over his head, but to no one in particular. East Point good enough to clean up. In the end, Rodimer Onus kicks forward to Joyce. Beautiful kick from Rodimer Onus. Macca, it hit him right on the chest, and Joyce will kick for goal 20 metres out directly in front.
It's exactly what you have to do when Billy Myers is playing on you. Myers is on his heels. Myers wants the ball kicked over the back to take the intercept mark. He doesn't want to have to come forward and defend. Joyce led out. Myers didn't go with him, and now gets a nice shot on goal from, say, 30 metres out directly in front.
They had a very good number 11 called JJ. They've got another one this year, and as they build it up, he sends it to the near side for a Myers score. A really, in the spectrum of the game, a big kick.
Yeah.
He has had his woes. 1-5 last week against Sebas. Been pretty good today in front of the big sticks, but missed there to make it a 4-point ball game on the Metro scoreboard. Hines now, starting half back in this term, will do the kicking and duties. Hines will play on and just go the measured pass out of defence right in front of the Darley coach's box to find Zane Lahoure. Keeps it low. Sliding was Joel Cadman, and he's paid the mark. So a patient build-up. He'll come back across defensive 50. A wobbly ball will work its way to Billy Myers. Goes for a loping run. Right foot kick down the line towards centre wing. Ball hits the turf. Callie, good at ground levels, caught in the tackle. In the end, good pressure by, and a good press up by East Point has kept them in their attacking half of the stoppage.
So Luca Goy is now playing as a forward on a defensive hind, Brad.
Yeah, that's right. I had hind around the wrong way. He's half back, not half forward.
Repeat stoppage. There'll be another ball up. Strong tackle laid by MRO on Luther Baker this time. Yeah, so interesting. So if you're Luca, what are you doing?
You're just basically playing on Hind. Hind will set the positioning, but the Goy just has to stay on him at each time. And he doesn't lead for the ball. Even though he's a forward, he doesn't lead for the ball because they're not going to kick to him.
Edwards won the clearance. Kick went in the direction of a teammate in Youngo. Overran the footy, and Cooper Glenwright McGuan was good enough to get back for East Point and run the ball over the boundary line. It'll be a throw-in in front of the scoreboard here at the Eastern Oval. Creswick Road into the ground. Scoreboard reads a 4-point lead to East Point.
So for the Sporting Globe player today, MRO's put his hand up today. He's been super in the midfield. So we get back to the action as a party with the hand pass. Finds Sweater Baker, has to retreat. Jeffrey coming through with the bigger body, did well. McDonald kick around the body. Was it required 15? No. Well, umpire went with a late whistle.
About 8 metres.
Paid it anyway. Dodd back to Joyce. Slick ball movement and a good kick, as you said, Brad McGowan, thanks to One Life Insurance. It finds his way to Kelly, just outside 50. He'll hit the hot spot to a 1-on-1. Slater and Brett. Brett gets the points this time. Did so well. Can't ever back against him for too long. Had his colours low in the opening term, but fought back nicely as Matty Brett. Lateral ball in defence will find its way to Max Riccardi. Short ball, just the 15, finds his target to Jack Bewley. Had plenty of it in the opening term, fell away over the second term. That kick out to the outside's good. Mark should be taken by brother Brett on true centre wing on the outside.
Bewley right in front of the East Point coach's box, plays on, comes inboard, long piercing kick. Great pick up down there. I think it's Willems. Got the 1-2, kicked it long inside 50 in the direction of Jeffrey. Was Joyce taken high? Umpire said no. Bewley did the roving, went onto that left boot, overkicked it again. Kelly getting back for East Point. Tried to pick the ball up, was tackled without it. Was he meant high? Surely. Umpire said no.
He was
Umpire found a free kick. It's going to go against Goy in the direction of Younger, it is. He plays on quickly, goes long towards full forward. All arms in the air. No mark taken. It was Tanner who tried to claim it. Ball went to ground. It's going to be a ball up. Forward pocket for Darley.
See, Nick Hine came steaming through looking for the crumbs there at one stage and then got knocked on his backside.
MRO said, get out of my sandbox. So he just got Ruben the stiff arm. Back on the way inside 50 here for Darley. Left foot snap around the body with Skinny. In front, though, the defence for East Point holds up. It's Lucas, who will go with his lateral ball in defence as they can chain it up down the line. His cog is in a bit of space. He has good wheels and takes the mark and goes immediately. Sends a long ball in the direction of Jeffrey. Outstretched arms, got a touch to it. Darley getting numbers across to help. Myers that man. He'll flip over top with the hand pass to George. Little piercing ball went, not the required journey, and now Younger's got a problem. He's caught. He didn't hear the whistle. And the umpire will give him benefit of that, and we'll get a ball on attacking side centre wing for East Point. He'll lead the Metro scoreboard by 4 points.
Darley's still looking to be pinpoint with that kicking, not wanting to bomb down the line. Often looking to try and move the ball through the middle of the ground if they can.
Beautifully roved by Rodimer Onus. He kicks into 50. Jeffrey strong overhead. Very good mark. Taken in front of Freeman. Plays on. Joyce is by himself, but quick enough to get back was Lahure, and they're able to clean up, this time through Jack Bewley. He kicks the ball outside 50, but there's no one there. Willems, who's done some nice things this term, gets in front and takes a strong mark. So he plays on quickly, kicks long into 50 in the direction of Joyce. Dodds by himself in the back, but Myers, as he often does, gets back and takes an intercept mark for Darley. Plays on out to Edwards.
Edwards will keep you going towards the broadcast side. Left foot kicks in the direction there of Azzopardi. This is of the Andy variety. Takes one bounce. Can go with the second, which he does. Andy might think about a third. Runs all the way to 50 and then to the defender and will go the other way. McDonald, left foot kicks a good one. Should find his target in Dot. True centre wing on the broadcast side. Goya short. Ignore that as the decoy. Now we'll be playing on. High ball will go with a shallow entry inside 50. Myers, got it again. Too easy. Takes the mark. We'll go across defensive 50. We'll find Darcy Matricardi. Right foot kick towards the outside. We'll find its target. And Darley continues to switch the ball across their defence, waiting for the right option to open up. Bewley with the mark on the point of the square. We'll play on. Can access the corridor. Decides to go for a run instead. And then the end just lowers the eyes with a short ball to the outside. Patient build up this time by the Devils. Hatcher attacking side of centre wing. And send Darley inside 50. Low ball. In the end, too easy. And Glenn Rock McGuan.
He's done some nice things, Brad.
Yeah, well, just because he held the ball up, it just meant that more East Point number could get back. It's made it harder for them to get that inside 50.
Glenn Wright McGuan. Here comes Joyce. Wasn't able to take the mark on the wing. Ball kicked off the ground in the end. Darley supporters crying for in danger. Joyce got the handball. Jack Bewley leads in the race. Wasn't able to pick up plenty. Can he throw it? Doesn't matter because Rodimer Onus has got it. Kicks long in the direction of Slater. Getting across Billy Myers. What a wonderful spoil out of bounds. Slater has gone to ground quite heavily there. I didn't think there was any contact made, was there, Ray?
No, it was heavy contact there, Rog.
No, to the head almost, was it?
No, the body.
No,
it was just Myers spoiled the ball and made body contact at the same time.
Looks like he's all right, though.
Yeah, just with
played that up, Sam Young, I reckon.
Just with East Point, I think their entries in the last 5 minutes have been a bit too bomby, and that's falling into the hands of Darley. They need to go back to what worked for them early on in that or in that second quarter, which is kicking the ball out in front of their forwards and leading. I must admit, their forwards are looking a little bit more stagnant. They're not necessarily the best aerobic athletes, and they need to keep moving around and have the ball put out in front of them.
Never thought I'd say Liam Canny won the ruck, but he did. Knocked down inside forward 50. He'll come back with inches as Brown was waiting out. Sends it towards full forward and gets there with another bomb entry.
You can't do that.
Myers with an intercept number 7 or 8.
Yeah,
at least.
Goes short and finds Brett. Keeps it low and keeps it tight to the line. Does well. Mark's taken there by Edwards. Tries to access the corridor with that left boot, but shows a bit too much of it. Q probably should have marked it. In the end, brought it to ground, which is good enough. Maybe for East Point. Well played there by White just to halve it and lock things up. We've played, 9 minutes now in this term of the third quarter. No goals registered yet. Only scores going the way of East Point on the Metro scoreboard. One down there by Brown. Baker got boots the ball. Just went the required journey. Mark's going to pay the way of Densley. He can go into the corridor if he likes. He's going to show a lot of it, though. It's going to ask a lot of his teammate. Matricardi stole it, took a bounce, then dropped it. Still got it away towards Hatcher. As they muck around with the hand with Azzopardi. Off to Bewley. He's got a cool head. He's got a beautiful left boot and finds target inside 50 and Edwards, who takes the mark.
Gee, I think East Point have done a wonderful job of not allowing Darley to mark the ball in the centre square. All right, they've been covering their players to the centre and allowing them to go on the outside because they know that as soon as Darley get it at half back, they want to come through the middle. On this occasion, they were able to work it out, but not due to East Point's lack of effort. Well done to them.
He averages a goal a game, does Michael Edwards. We know he's got a booming left boot. Goes back from 50. Has it got the legs? Goal umpire stands still, and he's called a touch. It was a delayed decision in the end. He gave that some thought. It was a lovely kick from Edwards, but in the end, the result is a behind. Darley's first score of the third quarter. They're 5-9-39 to East Point 6-6-42 on the Metro scoreboard.
Must have been waiting for the arc or something coming out of the top. He was very unsure, but in the end, decision was made. Point on the board, and East Point able to transition to the centre wing on the outside. Joyce a long way up to meet it. Chip it over the top. He's got the spare. Fraser fills that hole and takes the mark. Now the attacking side of centre wing. Able to play on with no one standing the mark. Thump one very close to the line in the end. Might get Sammy Treasure a touch as he sends it out on the full. Be a free kick to the Devils at half back, and a man that needs no invitations to find the footy, Brett Bewley, will have it.
He's had a lot more in the third quarter than he has probably in the first half, I would argue, Sam.
And he goes with that bullet kick into the middle, asking a lot of Baker. Brought it to the ground. Kepler-Jones with the crumb. Missed his initial target. Still might work out to McDonald. Off the Merritt in a bit of space, half forward. Has loose man in the pocket, and he sends it out in the full. Now, Joyce all by himself, and he overcooked it and sent out the full back to now Bewley. So Bewley will come to the corridor again, and this time finds target to George.
George plays on quickly, gives it to Azapati over to his brother, takes one bounce, handball over the top to Edwards. Edwards streams down centre wing, goes down that left foot long towards the goal square, and as called by Bradbury, he just wasn't able to get his chest in front of the fist that came before him. Ball spills out to 50, getting back is Younger. Kick was smothered off the boot. Darley with numbers, but not able to pick it up cleanly. Racing for the ball is George. Overrun it. Merritt good enough for East Point to win out. He kicks long to Kent. Over in the direction of Joyce, who marks on centre wing.
He's got retirement as half forward. We can spot him up. Doesn't see him. Has Kelly, though, a true centre half forward by himself, and he does find him. Mark taken 60 from goal. Can they get some bang for their buck?
Not again.
Kick towards half forward's good. Mark taken by Jeffrey.
I thought that was going to go out in the full again. It went 3 times in 3 minutes.
Well, Darley did a good job to cover the corridor. The only leading space was right over in front of the grandstand, a metre sort of away from the boundary line. And Joyce will get that shot. What is he, gents? 35 out?
It's probably a bit more closer, I reckon, to 40, but you're right.
It's right in front of Sam Treasure.
Thanks to One Life Insurance. Good summation there by you, Brad McGowan. So Jeffrey tucked up against the boundary. There are skinny pockets here at the Eastern Oval, though. So it's not as hard as a kick as compared to some other grounds. And Jeffrey unloads, and he pops it between the big sticks. And there's your bang for your buck.
The other thing about kicking from that spot is that's exactly where you have a shot at goal after training.
Yeah.
It's that spot close to your rooms. After training, it's the one closest to the goals. Blokes take the footy and have 5 or 6 shots from exactly there. So if you're ever going to feel comfortable, it is from there. I was usually kicking the ball back out to them, not necessarily having shots myself in this spot when I was playing at East. But yep, they're looking pretty good East still. They're finding a way to score, and most importantly, their backline's been so good that Darley just can't find a way to score themselves.
So the ball has spent the majority of this quarter. East Point entered the ground with 13 minutes in on the Metro scoreboard, and East Point would cause nearly the upset of the season if they were to overcome Darley this afternoon. I don't want to put the moz on them. They're 9-point leaders as play gets back underway in the middle. Cadman up against Fraser on this occasion. The skipper Canny's been super this afternoon, in and under. His kick went sideways in the end. Leading for the race of the ball is Bewley, who's definitely upped his ante in the last 10 minutes or so. He gave it to his brother. Came back to Luther Baker now. He goes onto his left boot up centre wing. Leading in the race of the ball is Cadman, I think it is. Goes inboard back to Luther Baker. Plays on. Left foot kick inside 50. Clever use of the body from Darley and a strong mark taken around 40 metres from goal.
It's good ball movement by Darley, but again, they're just getting these long shots on goal. They're never really attacking the goal face. I'd like to see them be a bit more aggressive with that, but hey, they're getting another shot on goal.
Joel Cadman it is.
So Joel Cadman on a 45-degree angle, about 45 metres out for the instant response. Starts his approach. Right foot kick will come under its way. He's hit it across the face, and in the end, has he registered a score? I don't think he has. Oh, yes.
Just snuck in.
Snuck in. Just snuck in for a behind. So 5-10. 40 on the Metro score, but that's the Devils. They trail East Point 7 goals, 6-48.
Yeah, need to find a way to get deeper entries to get themselves closer shots on goal.
Kangas come out fullback, short ball from Hughes, a good one. Finds its target. The build-up from halfback's been really good today. Has East Point. Big Joyce! Got the ride, didn't touch it. He got a million miles in the air and got the little lift for those playing at home, where he got the spring off the back of his opponent and he went flying, but didn't touch the footy. Darley go towards half forward. Mark's taken there by Duncan Cadman.
Been quiet this afternoon, Duncan, isn't he?
Short pass will find its way to Luther Baker.
How do you get out of that kick? Attack the top of the square. Hurry up.
So Luther Baker, 4-time premiership player, hits the top of the square like Brad McGowan. Calls for a big fly from Edwards. Whistle.
It's a holding free kick to Darley.
There you go. Make the defenders nervous. Get it in deep. And that's exactly what's happened. Defenders have given away a free kick.
A bit of panic on Brett Bewley it was. Well called by you, Brad McGowan. Thanks to One Life Insurance.
Well, we'd all be nervous if we're standing Brett Bewley in the goal square.
It's held.
Yeah, you're going to give away a free kick.
And you can put your glasses down. This will be no problem. Pretty much directly in front, 20 metres out. Bewley will come in, the champ, and split the middle, no problem. And Darley get that response to move to 6 goals, 10-46 on the Metro scoreboard. East Point leads 7-6-48 here at the Eastern Oval.
I guess I criticised the kick from the centre to go back out towards the boundary line. I said, what did they get out of that? Well, actually, what they did get out of that was they gave Brett Bewley more time to get forward, because their forwards haven't been able to kick goals. So the midfields had to go down there and kick the goals for them.
So around the grounds for Go Vita, Ballarat, your local health store. Bacchus Marsh trailing North Ballarat by 20 points. Sunbury, a 51-point leaders over Redan. Sebas lead by 9 points over Ballarat. And Melton kicking a cricket score against Lake Wendouree. Ball underway in the middle of the ground. Vital clearance coming up. Luther Baker, who's lifted his work rate this quarter as well. Handball to George. Back to Cadman. To Matricati. His handball was smothered. Went back in and got it. Fumbled it, which allowed McDonald to come in. To Merritt, kicked it low towards that big tree at the Eastern Oval. It's going to be a lasso free kick. No? It's going to be a throw.
It should have been a lasso.
Or is it inside 50?
Yeah, Lahoure going to ask the question, saying, well, did anyone touch it?
The umpire's going to come in and have a chat to the boundary umpire, it looks like, and he has changed his mind. He agreed with you, Sam, and free kick going to Darley. Ball comes back to Billy Myers, plays on, comes inboard, finds a teammate. As a party, plays on, short, on the right boot, finds a teammate in Cadman. Duncan plays on. He's got nothing to kick to, so he's having to backpedal. He's caught by McDonald, but quick enough to get a kick. Comes back to Marshall now for East Point. Kicks long with that left boot. 2-on-2. Myers leads in the race for the ball. Again, he's got nothing to go to up the line and dangerously goes across the ball. Wasn't holding the ball. No, what decision from the umpire. Very good umpiring. Had no prior opportunity. The supporters feel otherwise, but really good umpiring. I'll back him up on that occasion, Sam Young.
50 East Point supporters on the deck with beers in hand don't agree.
Jackson Freeman's giving it a life. As Cadman takes out the ruck. Ball came out, and another stoppage.
Good umpiring.
Yeah, it was. You're right. Bewley had no option down the line, so had to turn and switch. He just didn't. Myers just didn't put enough on it. Put his team under pressure.
So Joyce and Ruck gets Cadman. Cadman gets the points on this occasion. Jeffrey bounced off the whoopie tackle, bends it around the body. Jack Jeffrey with a goal and 8 contender.
Another goal from forward 50 stoppage. When they're just dominating the ruck, and then they're dominating the ball inside their own forward 50, looking so dangerous.
2 kicks really in the turn for Jack Jeffries of substance, both between the big sticks. And East Point skip away to another little handy buffer maybe midway through this third term. And Brad McGowan for the One Life Insurance. My thoughts here with Darley being the more experienced team. They're going to come hard. East Point younger team. Do they need to get some separation on the Metro scoreboard to hang on, you feel? Or do you think the game's too well poised they can run it out?
Well, certainly, but I agree that Darley, we all know Darley's still got to come back at us, aren't they? But East Point sticking well into this game at the moment.
Cadman won the hit out for Darley in the middle of the ground. East Point tails are up. George came through, gave about 3 fend-offs. That's got to be holding the ball, and it is. Free kick going the way of East Point. Interesting enough, that last goal, Mac, and I'll come back to you about it. Hind ran over to the bench to talk to Coach Dan Jordan.
His arms around, wasn't he?
And then he came back into play. He obviously had a message he wanted to get through to the bench as Kenny takes the free kick, kicks long. Into 50, big fly from Joyce. Number score play on Western here to Sam Young. Ball goes to ground, comes back to McDonald. He goes onto the left boot. And guess what? He's kicked it.
All ends well in the end.
Well, Darley had the first touch in that marking contest, so it wasn't a mark. But again, East Point are winning the fall of the ball. What's happening is Darley players are often taking the back space. There's so many players there that are Lahure, Brett, etc., that are good at marking the ball, so they like to take the back space, and it means that there's space at the front for the East Point players. They keep filling that space, getting the ball, and getting shots on goal as a result.
And like Jeremy Cameron last night, most of their goals have been kicked from snaps today. Welcome to the circus. This is incredible to watch.
Great call by you, Roger LeGrand. As we tick in the time on in this third term, the match trial scoreboard has East Point 9-6-60, leading Darley 6-10-46.
There's that separation you were asking about. Is it enough?
We'll get back underway here, red time in the third term. Couple on the road at East Point. Brown against Cadman. Big knockdown there by Brown. Came off the wing. Oh! Edwards, and he was coat-hanging. MRO, he's lined him up and knocked him down.
Decapitated.
Left foot kick down the middle was good. As a party off to the speedster and Hines. Long kick inside forward 50 for Darley. Almost the mark taken in there by Tanner. Alive and well, still inside 54. The Devils. McDonald, the last goal kicker, got it away. Chain of hand passes will work out. Right foot kick down the line by East Point. Big fly from Lahure. Couldn't take the mark. Spildy's bundle might open the door for the Crummers. In the end, a stoppage result, a breather for players, umpires and commentators.
Sam, I was thinking an MRO might have a visit to the MRO there.
He lined him up and he got all neck.
Ball thrown up right in front of the East Point box here. Looks like it's going to be a repeat stoppage. Nick Hine gets in there and lays a strong tackle. He started the game strongly, did Nick Hine, Macca, but he's certainly gone quiet under that run with what roll from Luca Goo. Big hit out from Tom Brown. Jeffrey leads in the race of the ball. Suddenly, Darley looking under pressure as White picks up, ambles over to Azapati, kicks long up the wing. No mark taken, ball spills to ground. George able to recover first for Darley. Handball went nowhere. Strong tackle laid, and it's going to be a ball up. Smack bang on centre wing in front of the Bowls Club here at the Eastern Oval. We've played 22 minutes in the third quarter. East Point 14 points up.
Both sides putting fantastic pressure on. East Point's still having real ruck dominance. Tom Brown putting it wherever he likes for this East Point midfield. It's making it hard for the Darley midfield, as good as they are, to get any sort of run out of the stoppages.
Ping-pongs between a few players out there and centering on the outside. In the end, stoppage result as the ground is bathed in beautiful sunshine. The shadows of Creek for Cost to cover this wonderful surface. One of the best places in footy, not just in Ballarat, but
fantastic field. Fantastic ground.
The crowd's up and about.
Rodamarinus is in a little bit of strife here.
He's still down there.
Yeah, he's struggling to get up. The trainers are coming out now, and that is definitely one to keep an eye on for very obvious reasons. And he's
a lower leg injury. Look like left leg.
Struggling to put weight on it. He's struggling to put weight on it. He's coming off the ground now, assisted by two trainers.
Not what they need. They've already
that
lost
is not
hands.
what they need at all. Of course, having to battle Darley's midfield without MRO, getting those clearances are going to be tough.
Absolutely, he's been massive. As we go around the grounds next to Go Vita, your local household. Melton 17-17, 119. Lakeland 3-4-22.
And just in the AFL, the Gold Coast Suns did end up winning that game 7-17, 119 to Essendon 17-8, 110. So 9-point winners, the Suns.
Sebastian 9-17-71, lead Ballarat 9-7-61. As we're back with the action here, Darley go forward with a long kick to full forward. The Johnson one gets over his head. The mark is taken.
He's about the third or fourth back then.
He got it. I thought he stood no chance being behind the back, but he's just got good springing steps as Will Johnson. And even though it was, as you said, 3 or 4 back in the marking contest, he just plucked it out of the air.
And no coincidence that, or obvious coincidence really, that MRO goes out, Bewley comes charging out of the middle and finds Johnson.
A couple of steps around the body, he pops between the big sticks, and they get that response to the Devils. They move to 7 goals, 10-52 on the Metro scoreboard. East Point 9-6-60.
So we've had one stoppage without MRO in there, and it didn't look good. East Point struggled late in the quarter. This is a very important 5 minutes.
Merritt has to go back in now, surely.
You would have thought so. They need to get some leadership and some ascendancy in there. They'll have ruck dominance.
He's going into that sweeper position there to start this bounce, it looks like.
So Kenny and Dodd, the sweeper as Sam Young just called with Merritt.
Bewley Hinden as a party for Darley.
So 8 points the margin in favour of East Point. Brown dominated the ruck today, and he hit it to himself, barged through and said, thank you very much. And there goes the top. Goes long towards
60 metres.
Good spoil from Billy Myers. Jeez. Put that one on the highlights reel, Sam Young. Flew through behind. East Point 9.761. Darley 7.252.
I don't like to fly off the handle, gents, but I reckon if he kicked that, that would have been probably the greatest goal I've ever seen on local footy level.
He did kick it from inside the centre square, and it ended up going to the goal square. I called 60. It was more like 70 metres in the end.
And he got all the barrels. He got all the and some. Myers, the double pistol got through for a rush behind, 9 points to margin on the Metro scoreboard. And Billy will bring it back in, as he always likes to do. Just goes short and finds his great mate in Matt Brent.
He might get it back here.
They do like a shift to defence, the Devils, and be patient. High ball down the line. Should have been intercepted, wasn't. Slipped through the marks there, the grass there, Goya. And in the end, very close to the line. Boundary umpire will leave for the central umpire to say, I will ball it up.
Macca, the other option for East Point would be potentially Kelly, who obviously was recruited to the club as a midfielder from Canberra.
I've been playing mainly as a forward today. Bigger, stronger body, similar to MRO. So, yeah, that might be something to look to at three-quarter time.
Big fist by Brown getting that territory. Jack Billy got the hands free, found his target there. And Freeman spun 360, got it away just in time. And the umpire, non-official umpire, comes in. He said he threw it. So, well picked up. Free kick got away. Brown. He'll send it into the pocket. Looking for Joyce! Got it!
In that pocket too.
Centimetre perfect between him and the line. The kick from the big man again. His foot skills today has been awesome.
Is he a left footer?
He is, Joyce. So he can open this up a little bit, Macca.
It's his ideal spot for him, really.
Don't moz him.
So, JJ. Left foot kick. I'll let the crowd do the work. He's got it! Don't you worry about that! And the response comes from the Kangas.
The boys on the deck are up and about, as you said.
Up and going to the deck and they win this, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, this really, there is an upset on the cards here. I mean, we still know that Darley could flick the switch and kick goals in a rush, but it's been a good fight back by East Point in this quarter. Darley have had the ascendancy. East Point have been able to work their way back into it.
I'll tell you what, Macca, I don't envy your job with the Sporting Globe player of the day. That's going to be a very tough decision. You might need an hour or so after the game to make up your mind, I reckon.
Yeah, there's been some very good players in this game.
So, closing stages of the third quarter in a super game here at the Eastern Oval. On 3BA footy for D2E Gyms. Cadman won the hit out for Darley. Went in the direction of as a party, long towards the goal square. Mark not able to take it. There's a foot of the ball. It's Younger. Snapped it over. Bounces towards the goal.
Kicked it.
Younger has kicked it for Darley. They've got one against the run of play. They go to 8 goals, 10.58. East Point 10.767 on the Metro scoreboard. Nearly 28 minutes gone.
Just the difference was that Darley actually won a hit out, wasn't it? Cadman was able to win the hit out and get it forward to his inside mids. Darley clearly got a better inside mid crew. They just haven't been able to get hold of the ball, particularly in that first possession stakes from the ruckman. So, well done to Cadman.
And if you like a different ball game and it's like 15, 16 points, East Point going to major break, that separation, single digits, game on. Feels like Darley can come home strong, especially with potentially East Point 2 down on the bench with no cans, no MRO. Back on the way, Cadman again got access to the footy and won it down. Merritt lets it between his grass. Thrown forward by Darley. Umpire away play on, so it must have been bumped in the tackle. The kick just went the required journey. Q will come away with it and spread it wide on the East Ham towards the broadcast side to find Marshall. He's done some good things. Very good by foot. We go towards full back. Finds Glenn Wright McGuire, who in game 3 continues to get better and better as each quarter goes on.
Trying to soak up some
the kick goal is awful. Straight to Younger, coach killer. If you've ever seen one, you can't believe it. And Darley get 2 in a row and move to 1964 on the Metro scoreboard.
And the shortest man on the ground, Younger, is in terms of intercept as well, and he was able to get that.
Well, look, East Point have hardly switched all day. They've just gone down the line. They've played safe. But clearly, there's a couple of minutes to go. The message has gone around to say, hey, try and take some sting out of the game. Kick and mark if you can. That's what they tried to do. But because they hadn't really done much practice, they just weren't that well organised. And Younger, as you said, was able to just chip in. He marked the ball as he was running into the goal square, kicked it from a metre out.
2 in 2 minutes for the young kid. His confidence will be flying.
He's done some nice things this afternoon. Reece Younger, I'm sure we'll hear more about him. Back underway in the middle. Brown won the hit out. East Point trying to get numbers around the footy to force a stoppage. Marshall was tackled without it. Umpire agreed. It's going to be a free kick going the way of East Point in the centre of the ground. He comes out wide to the veteran, Sam Q. Centre wing, Hames paint side of the ground. Slater and Brett, a bit of a back and forth behind play. Kick comes back Hind, who's been very quiet. Got paid the mark. I don't necessarily agree. I thought he dropped it, Brad McGowan.
Yeah, it was one that was always going to mark it, so the umpire blew it before it actually marked it.
Myers is onto it here. He ran past and got a short pass, kicked it up long, strong mark overhead taken by Tanner. The young man goes in short to the hit-up lead, looking for a party, and he's got it.
Geez, East Point have really let things slip. This could be the third goal in 3 minutes.
It's Joel Cadman, actually, and he's marked Sam Young around 25 metres from goal.
And he's a beautiful kick at the footy as well. He directly in front to put Darley in front for the first time in a long time. If he can convert from here, 25 metres out, as you said, Brad McGowan, for 3 in 3 minutes. They did it last week.
He's got it.
And they've done it this week. They're still back the lead here at the Eastern Oval. Darley moved to 10-10-70 on the Metro scoreboard. East Point 10 goals, 7-67. How the game can change when you're the Darley Devils.
Yeah, and well, that's right. Darley are the best team in the competition, and so they can take a game away from you really quickly. But East Point just don't have the experience at the moment to save the game. They look like they're so much better when they're just going all-out attack. That has worked for them up to this point, but it gets delayed in the quarters, and they keep trying to save it. That's not working for them. There's clearly some work to be done there at training.
Around the grounds, thanks to Go Vita Ballarat, your local health store. We are North Ballarat still leading back Smash by 17 points at Mattingly Park. Play back underway here for D2E Gyms. Canny has the ball to Merritt. Gave it off to Dodd. Goes forward with that left kick in the direction of Kelly. Was held. Umpire said, didn't see it play out. Myers goes in. Was he met high? Umpire said yes, it's going to be a free kick going the way of Darley. Right on the defensive 50. Billy Myers knows the situation, knows it's nearly 32 minutes, and true to its word, the siren rings to end the third quarter here at the Eastern Oval, and the Metro scoreboard reads East Point 10-7-67 to Darley 10-10-70. So it was a 5-goal quarter to Darley, a 4-goal quarter to East Point. We're going to take a break and come back with Brad McGowan's wrap-up of the third quarter on 3BA Footy Zone Ground.
He's obviously the clearance king.
We'll get the final term underway here at the Eastern Oval. It's Darley by 4 points on the Metro scoreboard. But this game's had many twists and turns throughout the afternoon. As Brown's kick was partially smothered, Bewley, hand pass was too hot for his intended teammate. Edwards, did he get in the back? Umpire said no. Bewley went back and got his own ball, really, off to White. Kick off the outside the left wood. Now, did Azapari touch it? He did not. So you know what that means? Lasso. Free kick will go the way of East Point on the broadcast side centre wing.
And it's going to be Sam Q to take the free kick. East Point trail by 4 points. He goes in short and finds Merritt. He goes in short again, finds Dodd. Oh, it's Canny, actually. Skipper, Liam Canny, looks up for a lead. He's got a man all by himself.
Yeah.
It's young Marshall who's marked right in the pocket and immediately indicates he's going to go back and have a shot.
Well, he's a left footer, but that's another example of the East Point ball movement. Just staying wide. Darley give you that one out wide. They all want to intercept marks, so they're in the corridor. East Point said, we'll just take what you give us, and they've found a left footer in a pretty shallow pocket. He can kick this.
Jesse Marshall came across from Buninyong in the Central Highlands in the off-season and certainly shown he's capable at this level. He comes in, a crucial kick. He swings around that left boot. It's going to go a little bit too far. Ball spills to ground. The umpire's going to pay a mark in the end, I think. Anyway, it's coming the way of Darley to that man, Myers, who plays on quickly out of full back.
Big fist by Q will send it back inside 50 for the moment. Darley with numbers. Lahura's going to be quick and was. Got it away just in time. Hand pass over the top to find its way to Baker for the Devils. He left it behind as well. Q goes to the ground. Maybe caught some friendly fire. One across the chops. He went to the ground clutching his head. Les ends up in a stoppage and Q's back on his feet for the moment. Attacking side centre wing on the broadcast side. East Point trail by 4 points on the Metro scoreboard. Brown to do battle in the ruck here against Cadman again. By clears a bit of space and waits for the ruckman to come in and jostle. Big tap by Brown. Sweeping this occasion was Edwards for Darley. Chain hand pass. Went to Cabin from stationary. He left it behind. Merritt bumps it inside 50. Joyce got 2 to beat. Almost brought it down. Darley with numbers will sweep across the fence. 50 to Brett. Spearing pass out back. It's got to be pinpoint perfect. It's not. The ball comes back inside 50. MRO comes run. And umpire says contact below the knees. And free kick to Rotoma Onus.
Whoever it is down and out. He's had MRO charge over the top of him, 2 knees into his kidneys. He did go harder and lower, but it did make MRO go flying over the top. I'm not sure he's got that decision right. I'm not sure I'd do it.
It's one of those line balls, and you're right, no one would do it in their right line.
I can understand why he did pay it, but I don't think it's the right free kick. You can't. If football's going to turn into a game where Duncan Cadman's got his head over the ball and gone low to pick it up, and because he's gone low to pick it up, and one of the owners has come in after him and got the free kick, I don't see how that's fair.
Yeah, well, it's that rule from Lindsay Thomas from North Melbourne years ago when he broke an opponent's leg, but it was a different. Yeah, Rowan's. It was a different situation in this case.
So Rotoma Onus will be just outside 50. I think with that crook leg, he probably doesn't have the distance from here, so he might just set it up to the top of the square. Looks for a leading tuck. In the end, the kick's perfect. And the umpire's paid it.
What's he paid? A push or something?
He's paid a push.
Yeah.
It's going to go the way of East Point.
I thought initially he might have paid the mark to Braden Joyce, but yep, he said push and shot on goal coming up.
It's another example, though, of East Point kicking it off the line. Instead of kicking it down the corridor where all the Darley players were, they had a player out on the far side.
So brother Jared's kicked 3 for his first goal in senior footy. And put it back in front. He's gone near side, minus score. 10 goals, 7.67. Metro scoreboard trails 10-10-70 here at the Eastern Oval.
Opportunity missed for East Point. That would have been a handy break, wouldn't it, Brad McGowan?
It's probably what it deserved. I'm not sure the free kick was there in the first place.
Myers plays on from fullback. Kicks to the Bowls Club side of the Eastern Oval. Pack will fly. Howard's over the back. Ball was knocked on the direction of Kenny, who kicked it off the ground. Picked up there by As a Party. Was there a leg on the East Point play? Umpire said yes. Advantage called. It's Merritt long towards the goal square. One out, Joyce!
He's played on.
Plays on and misses.
Or did he sneak it in?
He might have snuck it in. Look at the goal, but got it.
Did.
Jeez, how heart was in there. Now, there. Dan Young's picked himself up off the floor.
I was like,
he missed it.
JJ, what are you doing? He stuck it in. That's all ends well for East Point back in front.
4 goals to Jared Joyce for East Point. Gosh, we are a long way from it. If you're listening in the car or at home or wherever you're listening, we are down the opposite end of that goal.
Couldn't be further, we tried.
It looked off the boot that he'd missed it from very close range, but it must have just snuck behind the post. Anyway, the Metro scoreboard, Brett McGowan, East Point 11-7-73, Darley 10-10-70.
I must say, Darley are one of the most aggressive teams to bring the ball out of the back line I have seen. They kick low and hard every time, often to players that are outnumbered, and it often gives the the opposition a chance. That's what happened then. They got it back inside 50 and got an easy goal.
We'll try to get our man Sam Treasure, so he's going to update Duncan Cadman, who was left very licking his wounds after running to Rotoma Onus. Bewley with the clearance. We'll send it towards full forward for the instant response. Johnson has Howard getting back now for East Point to compete with. Howard with the high up under a kick. And this is going to be a tough one to mark. Edwards arrives late, brings it to the ground. Q roped it nicely. But
he's gone.
And he's gone. Half a second cost him.
But he grabbed the ball and then spun out of a tackle towards the boundary line. That's going to be viewed as prior opportunity. Unfortunately, he didn't realise that there was a tackler on the other side.
Cadman will play on, head for home, and put Darley. No, I was going to say back in front. Just the wrong side of the post.
It looked like it was a goal off the boot, didn't it?
Yeah, and the goal umpire was very happy with it. Then at the final moment, so wrong side of the post, minus score to the Devils.
We're not proving good judges of whether it's a goal or not at the moment.
No, we're not.
Giving up on that.
As Q brings the ball back into play to Jackson Merritt. Goes in short. So East Point just slowing play down here. Just trying to regain ascendancy. They've been so good for much of the afternoon. The kick goes long in the direction of Joyce. Gosh, that's a strong mark.
He is so tall.
Jumper, isn't he?
Yeah, and his arms, when he stretches, he's just so hard to beat.
Jared Joyce kicks up the line. Rodham onus, did he mark it before the line? The boundary umpire is going to signal.
Surely first touch was inbound. Second touch, he was nearly over the fence.
I think, yeah. The boundary umpire looks a bit uncertain here. The field umpire is going to come in and have a chat. No,
it's out of bounds.
it has to be out of bounds. I think the field umpire is saying what you said, Brad, and that the first grab was before the line. The second grab was out of the line. We don't have the benefit of the arc here yet. Correct decision in the end. We got it right. It's going to be a boundary throw in. In front of the scoreboard here at the Eastern Oval, we've played 7 minutes, and it's East Point 11-7-73, leading Darley by 2 points. 10-11-71. Here's Sam Young.
Back on the way here. Brown goes whack, just gains some territory, and Rotoma Otis will get the clearance. Right foot kicks a piercing ball inside 50, was in the direction of choice. Hits the turf, Myers mops up, off there to Bewley. He'll flip it wide by hand as well. And in the end, Edwards will just spear it down the line. Howard did well in the wrestle, got Ruby's direct opponent, couldn't complete the mark though. Handball inside, which just rushed forward by Hine with the little fist. Underground hand pass, clever by Bewley to gain territory. Marshall gets there first, but he lets slip, and George come through. He left the footy behind though. Fraser were clear, high ball to centre wing, and Brown was called into it nicely by his teammate to take the mark.
It's one of those ones where Brown, the ruckman, actually was lazy, didn't push back, the ball came out to him.
Beautiful long kick from Tom Brown, up to half forward, but umpires found a free kick for block. It's going to go the way of Geordie Slater, and he instantly points at the goals and says, I'm going to have a crack at this. Certainly East Point have seen the benefit of a couple of decisions, 50-50 ones, I would argue, Brad McGowan, that have gone their way.
Well, backline's practiced that, 2-on-1. One player hold your opponent down, other player jump over the top.
And 50-metre penalty. I don't know if it was for a player in the protected zone or for anything else.
It might have been a hold off the ball, I think. Looks like it's going against Matthew Brett.
It's going to go...
He's the one with his arms out, not quite sure. I think.
Did he move off the stand? It was hard to get a judge off. We were just waiting to call Slater's shot on goal. He gets taken to the goal line. Geordie Slater comes in, kicks his third, and East Point out to 12 goals, 7-79 on the Metro scoreboard. They're 8-point leaders over Darley, 10-11-71.
East Point just keep finding a way to score. Darley, you still feel like they've got another run or two left in them, but they can't afford to give away easy goals like that.
Sam Trojan, looks like Duncan Cadman's ready to check back in.
Yeah, it does. It just looks like he got fairly winded in that collision before, but looks like he's about to check back in.
He had a wrecking ball come through him, so he's done well to stand up.
I thought Darley were quite good in the lead up to that play. Hind and Bewley continue to just hit the ball forward, handball it forward. They knew that they had the better legs on the outside, just overran the ball in the end, and that allowed then East Point, who had numbers behind the ball because they couldn't run with them, it sort of worked out fortuitously for them.
8 points the margin in favour of East Point. Ball comes down to Hind. Handball goes back to Tanner. Goes back in again, tries to knock it in the Darley direction. Edwards is in there. Hind was the ball kicked out of his hand. Umpire said no. Ball comes out in the direction of Hitchcock. Fumbled the footy, which allowed Darley to get back, and they're able to clean up through Luther Baker now. He goes onto that left boot in the direction of Azzopardi, takes a strong mark. This is Andrew Azzopardi. Play on quickly. Was he tackled high? Umpire said no. Liam Howard goes in for East Point. Handballs over to Q. Q goes onto his right boot. Kick goes over the head of Edwards. Clever knock on from Dodd in the direction of Marshall. Player from Darley behind. Down behind play. Ball comes back to Merritt. Handball over to Brown. Drop what he should have taken. Kick off the ground by Merritt towards half forward. Getting back in the race for the ball is Myers. Picks it up very cleanly. Goes in short. Finds the ruckman in Tanner. Plays on quickly back to Myers, who gives it back to Tanner. Goes back again to Myers. They're playing ping pong. Myers in the end kicks long towards 50, up towards full forward. Howard in the A position. Wasn't able to mark. Got the ball to ground. Picked up cleanly and handballed over to Lucas.
And Lucas will try to exit. Has to steady. Shows some composure. Finds Willems, who gone to half back today, the vice captain. He's been excellent. High ball down the line. Big wrestle, ball to turf, umpire sees as a hold, be free kicked away of Darley. Baker trying to get himself off the ground as he was experiencing almost a full body cramp.
Yeah, and you can see Darley really trying to move it quickly, as you can hear in Roger Legrand's voice.
Brett, the full forward, Cadman! Joel Cadman flies and takes the grab. He'll lie up a 35 and a 45-degree angle.
Every time Darley get it, they're trying to hit the ball to the outside, they're trying to run. East Point look tired. You can see plenty of players with hands on heads. Darley still probably have, or still in the box seat here, I reckon, if they can put this one through.
I challenge any listener at home to find a game that has more ebbs and flows than this one. The best game in local footy going around, live on 3BA Footy's home ground, as Joel Cameron comes in and makes it a 2-point ball game once again.
Yeah, not a lot of noise around the ground. There may not be quite as many Darley supporters here. There's certainly a lot more East Point supporters, obviously being the East home game. But East Point do look tired. All right, Darley look like they have the run, but East Point still lead by that 2 points.
The scoreboard reads 12-7, 79 East Point. Darley 11-11, 77. We'll get an update thanks to GoVita Ballarat, your local health store from around the grounds from Sam Young. You can give us a couple of games there, Sam.
Yeah, Melton 23 goals, 19, 157. Lake Windermere 3, 5, 23.
So Jared Joyce into the ruck for East Point. Tom Brown having a rest.
He's been wonderful this afternoon again, Jared Joyce. He has 4 goals. Play back underway. Duncan Cadman in the ruck for Darley. Darley appealed for the free kick, didn't get it. Can he? Caught holding the ball. Didn't dispose correctly. It'll be that man, Duncan Cadman, to take the free kick. His kick is a poor one, and it puts Gardner under pressure. He's up to the task, though. Handball's over.
Johnson's by himself.
Bewley lobbed towards the goal square, towards that man, Johnson. And
dropped the chest mark.
Drop what he should have taken. McDonald gets back to clean up. Handball missed the target. As a party, snap over the shoulder. Fraser able to thump it through. It's a behind to Darley. They go to 11-12, 78. East Point 12-7, 79 on that Metro scoreboard.
Almost get the trucky time here. Brad McGowan get George in the middle. That's what they did to close the game last week. Need a bigger body around the midfield as Kepler Jones go long towards centre wing. Players all went down, tangle legs, out of bounds.
Good spoil by Lahoure, out of bounds. Darley with all the run here.
1 point ball game for one life insurance. Brad McGowan. How do you see?
You're right, Lockie George has gone up around the ball. I just think with Tom Brown out of the ruck now, and it's Joyce versus Cadman, I think it'll be more of an even matchup in there. I'd be nervous that the Darley players are going to get on the move through this stoppage.
Joyce with the knockdown. Teammate couldn't get boots ball and Merritt got back to Joyce. He's going to send that one out in the full, you feel, although just wedged inside. The ball stayed alive remarkably. Just kept it moving forward for East Point. Was important to get hands to it initially to stop the Lasso free kick, and then keep it alive was even more important. They gained territory. Take inside, settling on the outside.
Rodimer Onus has been on the bench for some time as well.
Right, so he's not quite right.
Can we see the upset of the season? Probably the biggest upset of a number of seasons, given the way East Point have started the year. They lead by 1 point. We're right on centre wing, Bowls Club side of the ground. Darley won the clearance through Bewley. Left boot kick. Lucas is in front. Able to spoil with Johnson. Ball spills the ground. Densley, was he tackled? Fairly, umpire says play on. He'll come in and ball the ball up. I wasn't sure how Densley disposed of that. Umpire said...
Well done to Will Johnson, the full forward for East Point. He was outnumbered. He had to come from behind. He's the full forward, but he spoiled, got it to ground, followed up, and they get a stoppage inside their forward 50.
So Liam Howard against Will Johnson. Will Johnson with the knockdown. Bewley on the move. Right foot snap. Into the post. Scores are level at the Eastern Oval. It's 11 goals, 13, 79 Darley. East Point 12 goals, 7, 79. Sam Q will bring us back underway from the full-back position for the Kangas.
Two amazing things there. Brett Bewley kicked it and missed. Second thing is he actually does have a right foot.
Q plays on from full-back, kicks out towards that big tree at the Eastern Oval. Big fly coming from Jared Joyce. And he manages to touch the ball to great effect, actually, because it would have been a lasso free kick to Darley and forces a stoppage. It'll be a boundary throw-in. The scores are level here at the Eastern Oval, thanks to D2E Gyms.
Rodimer Onus back in as well.
Ball comes back into play. Duncan Cadman won the hit out. Didn't really go to advantage. Ball spills to ground. It's going to be another ball up right on the corner of the centre square at the Darley end of the ground.
So Luther Baker for Darley went off with cramp. Back on now. Just overran that ball.
Back on the way here. Brown back in the ruck as well. Gets the knockdown. Coming through was Myers. Will look towards full forward. Right foot kick for Johnson. And Howard gets desperately back. Sees it through for a minor score. But the Devils take the lead with that blemish. They're up by 1 point on the Metro scoreboard. Lucas will go quickly. Short ball finds way to Glenn McGuire. As they try to shift some angles. The short pass. Sliding in. Mark is taken there by Braden Joyce. So Joyce at half back will be now able to
no
Assess
run.
his option. And he has to go long and slow down the line. Gardner, big spoil towards the line. Done the defensive thing nicely. We'll get advantage there on neutral territory on the broadcast side centre wing.
So East Point have just stopped to a walk, basically. There's no leading. They're all looking to just sort of defend the ground. They're a young team. They've gone back into their shell a bit here. They've got to try and get some run. They can't save the game. There's far too long to go.
Ball comes back into play. Brown won it out, but he's headed straight back over the line. Umpire says we'll throw the ball in. I don't think that's a lasso free kick these days, is it?
But I think it should be.
Yeah, I think hitting the ball straight back over the line needs to be considered, that's for sure. Would
So
have
if
been paid in the
it's
AFL.
on the full, it's a free, isn't it? But if it bounces, it's not.
Ball back in. Brown against Cadman. Ball spills over the back. Hiscock came through, tapped it in the direction of Canny, the skipper. Went onto his right boot, kicked the ball forward. Slater was tackled straight away, and that's going to be a ball up on the 50-metre line.
Territory important here, though, Brad McGowan. Just East Point to hem it in for a bit, just to take a bit of relief off their half-back.
Well, you feel like it's the only way they can score, too, is just stoppages inside 50, which they have been good at.
Brown being the catalyst of that. Down to retirement owners. Another clearance. Inside 50. Big fly on the top was Joyce. Couldn't quite bring it down. Slater. Right foot snap. Centering ball. Players go to the ground. Umpire puts the whistle away. Darley can survive at half back. Younger. Underground kick will just gain territory towards centre wing and might come back with interest. McDonald goes over the top. Finds his teammate. Willems will go inside 50 to full forward. Looking for a mark. Looking for Joyce. He had enough. He's paid the mark, and the faithful love it.
Fantastic balk by Williams on the edge of 50. He looked to have to rush the kick, was able to sell a bit of candy, hook it back inside, and that allowed Joyce to get good position and now have a shot from just the edge of the goal square.
And suddenly Dan Jordan's come down off the roof of the tunnel there, saying he's actually standing on the bench.
This is only game 11 in senior footy for the number 11, and he's going for a handful to put East Point back in front. 20 out, directly in front. JJ comes in. The crowd will do the work.
Oh, no.
He got it.
He's got it.
Just, he snuck it in. It looked like it was going to miss early on. He has been a colossus force down there. We wondered who would stand up for East Point. Well, they have found a couple of forwards today.
He's cramping as we speak, Brad. He's trying to get the cramp back out of his legs. He's just worked so hard this afternoon.
And as we speak, Brett Bewley has rotated off the ground with arms out saying, DJ, I don't want to come off right now. I'm the fittest player out here.
Decent sub, though. Nick Hine takes his place, but I do hear you, Brad.
Rotations are so important. You've got to make sure you get the guys, your best players on the field as much as possible. And in with approaching time on final turn, Brett Bewley on the bench. Say what?
Still a fairly handy midfield in there, as you said, Brad McGowan. We've got Luther Baker, we've got Nick Hines.
As a party.
So whilst he's, the league's best, they have got replacements. He went in the direction of East Point. Coming through was Cadman, went onto the right boot. Lucas finds himself in front. Good spoil. Lockie George winning for Darley, picked it up. Handball was smothered beautifully by Braden Joyce, who's behind the footy now. Kicks into the middle of the ground. Leading in the race for the ball is young Hatcher. Handball came back to Edwards. Onto Azapati. Kicked long into 50, looking for that man, Edwards. Good play from Lucas. Kicked off the left boot towards the middle. Pack will fly. Good spoil from Joe Dodds. Ball spills to ground. Leading in the race for the ball was White. Kicked long into 50. Got him as called by Brad McGowan. Strong mark by Joel Cameron, who seems to pop up in the right place. Plays on quickly. Snaps over his shoulder.
And he's kicked it.
Darley back in front. 12 goals, 14, 86. East Point 13, 7, 85 on the Metro scoreboard.
Darley defenders all with hands on their knees or heads in their hands. Unfortunately, that ball was just kicked inside 50. It sort of dropped in shorter than the East Point players were thinking. That meant it fell into Duncan's hands. Once he marked it, he didn't want to have to go back and have a set shot and have a think about it. He wanted to play on quickly, take away that negative sort of energy. Was able to snap around the corner like a lot of players do these days and put Darley back in front by 1 point.
And Brett Bewley checks himself straight back into the game. Up by point are the Devils on the Metro scoreboard. Brown to retirement owners. Fisted forward, though, by the Darley defence. As a party, tried to retreat. It ricocheted back towards him. Left foot kick to half forward. Tanner's in front. Lucas will arrive late. Waiting down was Hine. Handball off to Andy as a party. Strong in the hips. Looks left. Looks right. Keeps the ball alive. Hatcher at ground level. Off to Nick Hines. And he's got it. He turns to the deck and says, I was one of you, and now I'm the devil.
He definitely did that. He looked and stared at the deck, and everyone is dead quiet on there. They don't know what to say.
He has copped a fair bit from the deck in his defence this afternoon. That was always coming. And he delivered in spades.
So Hind had beautiful position from that centre bounce. He got forward, and he was in fact, Darley had two players at the front of the contest. Their midfielders are charging out of that, and he just willed himself eventually back onto the ball and was able to kick a goal that now puts them 7 points in front.
The margin 7 points in favour of Darley. That was Nick Hind's second goal for the afternoon.
Kick the first, has to kick the most important last.
It's a very good call, Sam Young. Play back underway in the middle. Brown wins the hit out. Dodd picked up, but taken off him by Azapati, who's been good this afternoon. Kicks long towards half forward in the direction of Johnson, who's playing like a high half forward. Lucas went to grab the ball for his point. Taken off him by Will Johnson. Kicks towards in the direction of Tanner. Was he held back again by impressive young man in Reece Younger, who has done some great things this afternoon, Brad McGowan, and will line up for goal number 3.
He's been fantastic. I've got to say, he's a very short player. He looks like he would fit into the under-16s quite well, but he's played like a senior player. There's no question about that today. He's been fantastic.
And the biggest kick of his young career. 7 points the margin. You feel like 13 will be stretched too far. 45 metres out. Reece Younger for his third, for a 13-point lead, and he's got it. And Darley, well, they're kings of the red time. They skip away here in the final term at the Eastern Oval.
So it's still, 23 and a half minutes gone. So there is still time for East Point. They're only down by, 13. But it still just feels like East Point have just totally stopped and the Darley have all the running.
Tell you what, Brad McGowan, you're going to have one heck of a job choosing the Sporting Globe Player of the Day. Your comments for One Life Insurance this afternoon. I think Reece Younger could even be a sneaky contender for.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. Nick Hind's been fantastic. Brett Bewley, and there's a number for East Point as well.
Play back underway. Tom Brown, who's dominated the ruck, shark by Hind. Kick goes forward. George tried to pick it up, couldn't. In went as a party, Andrew, and the umpire comes in and says, "Oh, throw the ball up."
The importance of the barometer, Joel Cabin, in this final term has been massive too. Starting on the wing, drifting forward as the modern-day winger does, getting himself dangerous. It's going to be a tough one for you, Macca, that's for sure. Brown continues to win it in the ruck. Quick kick forward towards that man, Cadman. Right foot step. He might make it easier with his fourth. Wrong side of the post. Maynard score on the Metro scoreboard. This will go down the middle. It's 14-15-99. Darley leading East Point 13-7-86. So McHugh, the veteran, to bring it back in. They've got to be brave. It's all or nothing now, you feel. And Huey will bring us back underway.
He does just that, and as predicted by Sam Young, he goes up the middle. No mark taken. Myers nearly grabbed it. Ball went to ground. Coming straight off the bench into the action was Matt Riccardi. He kicked the ball forward. Picked up by Cadman to Hind on the outside of the boot. Tanner's got some time here. What can he do? He elects to go short. Surely that's not 15. George grabs it, kicks a goal. And could have shut the gate on this one, Sam Young, but went to the left-hand side. It's a behind. That margin back to 15 points. 14-16, 100 Darley. East Point 13-7, 85.
It's not impossible, but it's going to take the Kangas best. Tight legs, young side. Hugh this time goes long to the outer side. Off hands, hit the turf. Hure broke the tackle. Will send the Devils back inside forward 50. Tanner, big fist there. 1v3 was Hind, outside the boot, and he's got 3.
He's starting to make the decision easier when players get on a roll late in the game. He has taken the game away from them. His running ability has just run over the top of them. I don't know, have they dropped the tag? Is Luca Goy still running with him?
I haven't seen Luca Goy for quite some time.
Yeah, I don't think he is still doing that role, and I think whether that's a decision or whether Luca's gone off injured, or I'm not sure, but Hind is starting to take this game away from East Point.
Gee, Billy Myers, though, has been terrific. And then I just looked at that passage there. He's just brought that defensive line up, brought the ball back inside 50. He's just there all the time, Sam Young.
Yeah, he certainly is. He's the Swiss Army knife of the Ballarat Football Netball League. He's been terrific. As we'll try to get some around-the-ground scores thanks to Go Vita shortly as we get into the dying embers of a number of games across the Ballarat Football Netball League. 26 now, 27 minutes gone in this one at the Eastern Oval. The Devils win their second game this year as Ratomo has the hand pass, Miss Fraser. Comes over as Joyce. He's caught the tackle. Ball resolved.
To Go Vita, Ballarat, your local health store. North Ballarat have defeated Bacchus Marsh by 24 points at Manly Park. Great win for them.
Yeah.
Sunbury lead Redan by 39 points at City Oval. The Borough are up by 15 points at Alfreton. They lead 92-77. Melton 166. First Lake Wendouree 24.
Bad afternoon for Rowan Brown's men, that's safe to say. Bewley, did he get a bootlace on? Umpire said yes. Ratomo flicked it out. He looks sore. Dodd battled on hard.
He's been good, Dodd, hasn't he?
On hands and knees again. He scraps and claws and tries to get it forward. Out to Brown, who's been excellent. East Point will go forward. Slater caught behind this time against Brent. Been a fascinating duel. And in the end, we'll get a stoppage at half forward for the Kangas. 13-7-85 on the Metro scoreboard. They trailed Darley 15-16, 106.
We said pre-game, Brad McGowan, that if East Point could keep it within 40 points, it'd be a good result.
Yep.
Well, you can certainly say they've done that and more as Brown wins the hit out.
So 20 points now, but yeah, that's right. That's been a fantastic effort by them.
Matt Riccardi kicked it straight back to Marshall, who honoured the lead of Willems, who's taken the mark around 45 metres from goal. He's conscious of time as he knows the clock's against him. He's going to take that set shot, but he's going to do it very quickly. Brodie Willems, elevated to the leadership group for East Point this year. He's had a solid afternoon at the Eastern Oval. Kicks off almost a step in the end, long towards the goal square, no mark taken. Myers off the ground. McDonald leads in the race to the ball for East Point. Very wisely kicks in short. Joyce could have been taken high. Umpire said no. Cadman went in. George went in for Darley. He picked it up. Handballed over to Azapati, streaming through the middle of the ground. He's got time and space on his hands, Sam Young.
3 bounces for Azapati. Towards full forward. Hind in a one-on-one. Howard has the size advantage. In the end, he gets over the back. Out of bounds. Deep inside forward 50, which will please Darley just to gain territory. Lock it in. Close this one out. And I think for Dan Jordan, the coach's box, in a way, he would probably embrace this challenge, I imagine, Brad McGowan had all afternoon. It's been a really good hit out.
It has. It's similar to last week, though, against Sunbury. Darley have only just managed to overcome their opposition late in the game.
Kings of red time are the reigning premiers. They'll make it 22 in a row if they're victorious this afternoon in the Ballarat Football Netball League. That is unheard of in the modern generation. So considering how tight the rest of the competition has been traditionally, to have a side skip away like they have, shows how good they really are when it is all said and done. Knocked down Ratomo with another clearance. He's had so many of them. Sideways kick invites Fraser, and he slides in and takes the mark deep in his own defence. We're approaching 30 minutes gone in the final term. Smoke and Joe will go out wide. You've got to be brave. Marshall or Blake can take the mark. Jeffrey being quiet. Kicked a couple, but cops up by hand this time. Cousins will send it inside 50. Cabin dealt with his opponent legally to the umpire. Out to Tanner. Inside was looking for a teammate there in Bewley. Went and got his own footy back. Hacked off the deck. Surviving will be McDonald. Handball received, be good towards Ratomo. Put the next stiff arm out, go away from Azapati, but then ran into a wall. Kicked off the deck there by Andy Azapati. Willems comes in, hold up. And there's a few sore bodies there. It's been a brutal affair. A fast game of footy. And an entertaining watch, Brad McGowan.
Sure has. Darley loved to run and gun. East Point have battled wonderfully all day, keeping great pressure on. It's only just been small glimpses where Darley have been able to break it open.
Brown to Merritt. Kicks along the direction of Joyce. Joyce could be the recipient of the best on ground despite not playing in a winning team, such has been his influence this afternoon. That's a decision for you, Brad McGowan, for the Sporting Globe Player of the Day, as Edwards marks on centre wing. He plays on now on that left boot, kicks long. Tanner flew, nearly to the mark of the year. Handballed over the back to Azapati, just fumbled at the crucial moment, and it will be a boundary throw-in right in front of a very quiet East Point deck. They were on their feet in the third quarter as East Point kicked a couple of wonderful goals. They've now gone a little bit quiet, Sam.
And for the first time in a very long time, I'd love to know exactly the stat. They'll be 0-3 to start a season. One down by Fraser. Merritt got the hands free. Off to McDonald. Clearing defensive kick. Brown arrived late, couldn't quite complete the mark. Pushed out of the way by Myers legally. Off the Bewley go the Devils. He steps back towards the traffic and goes to a teammate in George from a standing start. The high ball towards full forward. Johnson won't be allowed to access almost with the slips catch. He was able to reel that one in. Out of bounds it goes. We'll get a ball in deep inside forward 50 in the dying embers of this one here at the Eastern Oval.
Macca, Sam McDonald's game. We speak about young players and growth. He's been very impressive for East Point.
Yeah, I have liked his game. I think he sort of worked his way into it. He's going to be a player for the future.
Braden Joyce's kick was smothered just beside the boundary line. The umpire says, we will throw the ball in. So 32 minutes gone in this last quarter of what has been a fantastic game of Ballarat footy, a real showcase for the league.
Absolutely. Match of the round in terms of the entertainment value, that's for sure. It's been ebbed and flowed, and in the end, Darley get the biggest lead of the game in the dying embers here. They're not done with yet. Handball off. Standing start. I think it might be Gardner. It's gone around the body, just the wrong side of the post. Minor score is the result.
Gee, the goal umpires have had to work hard tonight, haven't they? Some of those kicks are goal.
Well, it looked home for all money and then just faded at the final moment to the wrong side of the post. 15 goals, 17, 107 on the Metro scoreboard. The Devils lead East Point 13-7, 85.
Merritt brings the ball back into play, but here's that man, Joel Cameron, who's had a super second half, hasn't he? He's kicked the 3 goals this afternoon in game number 99.
Yep.
He has certainly been one of Darley's better players and will be in consideration for Brad McGowan's Sporting Globe Player of the Day.
Merritt's kicked unusually poorly at times today. It's usually an elite kick. He was just trying to sort of kick it off the line a little bit, but changed his mind at the last second.
So, in the end, Joel Cadman sits it up towards the goal square in the direction of Tanner Goodfist, coming from Braden Joyce and Jesse Marshall, able to clear, but not for long. His kick is off the side of the boot and finds Azzopardi, who goes in short to his brother, and Andrew Azzopardi's taken the mark.
Yeah, he's been excellent, Andy Azzopardi, this afternoon. He's probably played the most bulk minutes in the midfield today. Been really part of that engine room today for them, and he's been rewarded here with a late shot on goal for what would be a very well-deserved goal if he can convert.
Yeah, Darley just all over the top of East Point now. East Point just want this siren to go.
So Andy Azzopardi.
We are 34 minutes in.
Starts his approach now. We'll shoot from 45. Kick is on its way. Not the cleanest strike, but the accurate strike it is. Puts the arms out, says, give me a hug. We've got 16 for today, and we've got 4 points in the bank.
Yeah, people are going to read the score at the end of today in the paper tomorrow morning, saying, people still read the score in the paper, I don't know.
We knew what you meant.
Or get on Play HQ, or listen to us. And they're just going to think, East Point just weren't up to it. Darley beat them, and they're going to end up winning by close to 30 points here. But in the end, East Point have been beaten, but gee, they've been wonderful. It's taken Darley right till East Point's pressure dropped off for them to get on top.
Around the grounds for Go Vita Ballarat, your local health store, Sebastopol getting up over Ballarat at Alfredton as the siren ends to what has been